They handed us the script, but we don't gotta read it no more. Yeah. Same old story, different page. Same old ink on a different stage. Got my own people on the corner, pushing me closer to the edge with rage. Willie Lynch probably laughing in his grave, seeing centuries later we still enslaved. House divided, envy contagious, the blueprint still working. Ain't that outrageous? Yeah. Stack the odds, casino game. Bet against ourselves just to chase some fame. Another brother falls, everybody crying. Last week behind closed doors they was quietly plotting, trying to dim his light cause his future too bright. Crabs in the bucket pulling down every flight. Generational wounds pass hand to hand, fighting each other instead of the man with the plan. Iron chains became gold links, different metals, same prison when nobody thinks. Freedom ain't jewelry, freedom is soul. Can't buy liberation if your spirit been sold. We just echoes in the barrel, spinning circles every day. History whispers softly, but we keep looking away. They handed us the script, now we acting every part. Time to break the cycle, time to heal the broken heart. This ain't the dream they marched for, this ain't the future they could see. This whole thing was a setup, it's time we set ourselves free. Same concrete soaked with tears, same pain carried through the years, but we tear each other down for applause. Temporary likes while nobody heals. Call you a sellout when you lead a block. Soon as success make the whole world stop, but the real betrayal ain't broke the flight. It's poisoning your people out of envy and spite. You mad cause this watch gleam, mad cause our band gleam. Meanwhile the architects of the cage still counting money behind the scenes. They love the chaos, love the smoke, love watching family lose all hope. Another headline, another mother cry, another generation acting while they dying. The trap ain't poverty, the trap is division. The chains ain't visible, they're built from our decisions. We carry anger in our chests, years of trauma, years of stress, and pass it to our own bloodline. Instead of putting evil to rest, love became weakness, unity became strange, clout became currency. Everybody chained. Round and round we go, history keeps repeating, cause nobody let it go. But tonight we change the pole, we build every hope. This ain't the life they believe, the chains only live if we choose not to leave. Let the echoes disappear, let the barrel finally break. Leave the hate where it belongs, for our children's sake. No more jealousy, no more self-destruction, no more borrowed hatred. It's unity or it's nothing. We free, we free. Yeah. Ain't no more quiet now. Nah. Tell them run that back. I said, hands up, head high, 10 toes. They monetize pain while the truth get froze. Big talks online, but they hearts stay cold. Still fighting for rights that was promised long ago. We ain't your silence, we ain't your fear. Every time they shut a door, we appear. From the city to the globe, here the people get loud. You can bury one voice, but you can't stop the crowd. Yeah, I'm from the side where the pressure make diamonds, where mothers pray hard cause the system stay violent. Kids learn trauma before they learn signs. Politicians campaign while communities dying. Look, everybody tweeting, everybody streaming, everybody woke till the camera stop beaming. Truth don't trend when the money intervening. That's why the real ones exhausted and screaming. Big change, fake morals, podium capping. Whole lot of hashtags, ain't nobody action. Trying to sell the vision with celebrity distractions. Meanwhile, rights disappear through strategic reactions. Close schools, close polls, close cases. Still see hate written all on their faces. History repeating, just switching the phrases. Different decades, same games, new stages. And they wonder why the people don't trust. Every headline feel dangerous to us. Every promise turned dust, but we still rise up, 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 rise up. Hands up, head high, 10 toes. They monetize pain while the truth get froze. Big talks online, but their hearts stay cold. Still fighting for rights that was promised long ago. Hey, we ain't your silence, we ain't your fear. Every time they shut a door, we appear. From the city to the globe, here the people get loud. You could bury one voice, but you can't stop the crowd. Yeah, now everybody playing God with the algorithms, programming narratives and calling it the system. Who decides truth? Who decides wisdom? If the future artificial, who protect the children? Too much rage in the timeline scrolling. Young minds vulnerable, anger overloading. Everybody radical when the fear keep growing and the world stay tense while the missiles stay loaded overseas. War drums, contracts get signed. Oil, power, money always hide behind pride. Poor folks pay while the billionaires glide. And the news turn trauma into primetime vibes. Talk peace with a smirk while the stocks go up. Tell the working class, hold on, but enough is enough. People tired, people broke, people fed up. Still they call us angry every time we stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Listen, it's bigger than left or right, bigger than red or blue. People just wanna live, people just wanna breathe, people just wanna matter. But every generation gotta drag justice uphill, while somebody profits off the chaos. That's the part they don't say out loud. Hands up, head high, 10 toes. True hit harder when the beat line rolls. Can't sell fear to a soul that knows. Power to the people, let the whole world know. We ain't your silence, we ain't your shame. If the people wake up, everything changed. From the city to the globe, hear the whole crowd roar. You can't dim light when the spirit won't war. Rise up, even when they try to divide us. Rise up, even when the pressure find us. Yeah, yeah. Still here, still loud, still fighting. Love.
Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl Golden. We back with another live, y'all. We're gonna be finishing off a little bit of the conversations that we've been doing in the past 2 days. Y'all know, with Maya and Kiki Palmer, we have Ice Cube over there on Big Boy TV with Mike Epps, and we also have, and we added on a little bit of Dame Dash Child. We're gonna start off with Dame first, okay? But before we get into all of that, it is about 11:32 a.m. here, Eastern Time, in the United States, in the Carolinas, and it is already hot. It is the morning, and it is blazing outside, y'all. It's supposed to be 98 here today, but the sun is shining real bright, and I'm having a wonderful day. Thank you all for coming in to join. Whether you want to engage in the chat or maybe you laying back, chilling, and listening from outside, we appreciate you and all engagement. You know, of course, I have my lovely co-host here with me, Imani. And so before we get into the meat and potatoes of the live, I'm gonna go ahead and let her come on up, and then we'll talk about a few things. We got to get into some housekeeping, and yeah, we'll move right along. So Imani, girl, what's going on? How you doing? How you feeling? How's the weather? What's good?
Um, it's good. It's 4:30 p.m. here. It's sunny, it's hot, and it's Friday, and that's all good. And I'm glad we're doing an early one today because that gives me time to go out and play today. But how
Girl,
you doing?
go out and play, not go out and play. But no,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is right.
I'll be playing. I'll be playing all weekend. No. Um, no, how are you doing anyway?
No, I'm doing real good. Mama's good, JJ good, everybody's good. I did want to make one confession though, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been rumored that I have three children,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to be honest today because honesty is everything. That's not a rumor. That's true. I do have three children. Um,
What?
I got JJ. Yeah, I got JJ. That's my human son. Then I got Tyler. That's my long haired Chihuahua son. And then I got Chino, my little baby. That's my new son. So yeah, I got three sons, y'all. Three sons.
You is an idiot.
But you know, we all doing good. They doing good too. Dogs included. We all good over here. But yeah, happy Friday, everybody. We hope y'all having a beautiful Friday. But I'm gonna go ahead and just pass it over to you, girl, because I know you got some things to get into, and you're gonna kick off the housekeeping. So let's get it. All right, no problem. Yeah, she getting her mic. She's switching over her mic and stuff, y'all. So yeah, when she come back, we're gonna get into the housekeeping. But basically, y'all know what we talking about on the live, y'all. We had so much fun yesterday. Once we finally got to the Dame Dash and the JC portion of the live. And don't worry, I'm not going to bore y'all with Dame. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes of what we said we came to get into. So I found the timestamp, and we're going to get into the part where he is talking about, you know, Jay-Z and the freestyle and all of that. 1-800 Brick City, yo, I got a surprise. I got a real surprise for real because we was laughing and clowning. And I think it was you that said that I should make a song called Pause. Y'all gonna see something in a bit. But I was talking to Carlos too the other day, right? Carlos from New York. He from the top, up top. So he was like, "Yeah, this is regular. Like this is just like that's the thing. Like people will say pause, but he said when it comes to Dame, Dame just say it for no reason. Like he doesn't use it properly. Like he says it way too much. He got like pause PTSD or something. So he pauses way too much. But yeah, that was hilarious yesterday. And when we watched the segment of him talking about Jay-Z, and the freestyle stuff, we still gotta put our pause meters on, y'all, because I promise you, he's probably going to say pause a lot more times. We did 12 minutes yesterday. He said pause 8 times. Like you cannot make it up. But don't worry, y'all. I got y'all. I got a cute little song for pause. But yeah, so we'll be getting into the housekeeping and all that in just a minute. Imani's coming right back. She's just switching over her microphone or whatnot. And then she's gonna come in and kick us off with housekeeping. And she got some opening thoughts and stuff that we're gonna talk about. And then we'll get into the content. But yeah, y'all, we made it to Friday and we all are still here. So that is a blessing. So many people don't, right, get to see another day. But even if our lives are not perfect and stuff like that, we having issues and problems, because we get to live to see another day and we wake up the next day, that's a blessing. And I'm very grateful for that, and I'm grateful that y'all are here as well with me. So there she goes. She got her mic ready. All right, girl. Hold on. That's okay. It's all right. I'll be having to switch out equipment too. It's all right.
Right. So where were we? You were telling us that you've got 3 kids, you fool. Hello.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I definitely have 3 children. So that is not a lie. I have one human child and I have 2 Chihuahua dog babies. And they're all males. They're all boys and they all fight each other all the time. So yeah. I got a house for the boy sons over here.
You are such an idiot. Well, I don't have much for housekeeping today. So I just thought I would start with a message. You know, we like to give people a nice little positive message to start with. And so before we get into today's topics, I want to remind someone out there or everyone out there that there comes a moment in your life when your spirit gets tired of negotiating with things that break it. For many of us, we were raised to believe that loyalty means staying, that kindness means tolerating everything, that love means giving people endless chances, that if we just try harder, oh, forgive harder, explain ourselves better, somehow people will finally appreciate what we've been pouring into them. But wisdom teaches us something different. Not everyone who walks beside you is meant to walk with you forever. Some people arrive as blessings, some arrive as lessons, and learning the difference can save your peace. We've all held on to people longer than we should have. Friends who only call when they need something, family members who criticize more than they encourage, partners who make us shrink to fit inside their comfort zones, communities where we walk on eggshells instead of feeling accepted. We tell ourselves, it's not that bad. We've been through too much. They'll change. But sometimes loyalty to others becomes betrayal of yourself. Sometimes what we call patience is really fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of disappointing people who never considered how often they've disappointed us. So here's what I want you to understand: protecting your peace is not selfish, it is necessary. You were never created to spend your entire life convincing people to see your value. You were never designed to live in emotional drought, constantly proving your worth to people committed to misunderstanding you. Real love doesn't require you to disappear. Real friendship doesn't demand that you abandon your dignity. Healthy relationships don't leave you anxious, exhausted, and questioning your value every day. The right people won't force you to become smaller to make them comfortable. They'll celebrate your growth, respect your boundaries, tell you the truth without cruelty, correct you without humiliating you, support you without keeping score. And here's the part that hurts. Sometimes growth means letting go, not with bitterness, not with revenge, not with hatred, but with acceptance. You can love people and still choose distance. You can forgive people and still close the door. You can wish someone well and still decide they no longer have access to your peace. Because letting go isn't always a loss. Sometimes it's liberation. Sometimes the silence that follows chaos becomes the first sound of healing. Sometimes the people you miss are the very people who are keeping you from becoming who you were meant to be. And yes, people, And yes, people may misunderstand your decision. They may call you distant. They may call you selfish. They may say you've changed. But growth always looks offensive to those who benefited from your lack of boundaries. The truth is, you don't owe unlimited access to people who repeatedly dishonor your heart. You don't owe endless explanations to people committed to misunderstanding you. And you certainly don't have to set yourself on fire just to keep other people warm. Life is precious, time is precious, peace is precious. Spend your energy on people who water your spirit instead of draining it. Choose circles built on honesty, respect, and emotional safety. Choose environments where your laughter returns naturally, where your dreams don't have to whisper, where your presence is celebrated instead of merely tolerated. And as we move through life, I want you to ask yourself one question: who in my life makes me feel more like myself? And who requires me to become less of who I am just to earn their approval? Because happiness isn't always about finding something new. Sometimes it's about having the courage to release what has been hurting you for years. Remember this: you deserve respect, you deserve reciprocity, you deserve peace. And if nobody has told you today, let me be the one to remind you: you are enough. You have always been enough. Protect your peace, guard your dignity, and never confuse self respect with selfishness. And that's it for me. And I hope everybody has a happy Friday and a very, very happy and blessed weekend. But we'll get on with the show. But what have you been up to anyway? Um, I didn't get from you what you said.
Girl, same old Friday stuff because it is yet still a weekday. So, same schedule, same things like that. Household chores, chasing JJ around and my other two sons, you know. But outside from that, no, it's actually a pretty nice and smooth Friday. And I can't wait for the weekend because we're going to the pool. So, yeah, that's about it. But we can go ahead and segue into housekeeping. There's a few things that we'll touch on in the housekeeping before we get into the content. I know you had some things you wanted to lead off with it, and I have a few things I'll add to it. But you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
No, I want to hear what you've been up to because normally you've been, I know you're a global YouTube traveler, so you got to tell me what you've been up to.
Yeah, I do. I do travel the YouTube streets. I be out here in these streets. But no, I had a nice visit yesterday evening during a thunderstorm here. But no, I went over to check out another great content creator and platform, Mel's World. And I spent a block and I went back over there to, pop in and talk with her. And we actually had a really great conversation that was peaceful, it was uninterrupted. And yeah, we really, I feel like, understand each other a little bit better now. And it all ended on a positive note, you know what I mean? So I thought that was an excellent visit, and a good thing to see, and what I really think we should strive for, right? Because we all out here trying to just do our thing, you know what I mean? We all do it in different ways, but there's no need for us to hate each other and anything like that. So, and if anything goes down, we are mature, we apologize, we take accountability, we make clarity, and we move forward. So, yeah, it was an excellent visit. I really enjoyed it. You
Oh,
have
well,
anything?
that's good. No, that's really good. I'm glad that you went back to Mel's World. As I said to you, she's funny. She's from Brooklyn. I, I love the New York humor, the vernacular. It's where I lived when I worked in the States, or one of the places I lived when I worked in the States. And I love Mel's content. She's funny. She's very funny. The only thing that I have really for this today's housekeeping is that I just want to call out some of the channels. You know, some of the bigger channels that I watch are Kempire and Mims. Uh, I love their content and the way they deliver it. And I just want to really shout out to all the other, you know, content creators that don't, you know, get the recognition or added to lists for what it's worth, if they're worth anything. And I want to say, you know, go and check Ralph the Wise, his spiritual stuff, his take on some of the chaos and the mess. He's very astute. He's been calling a lot of this stuff out for about a year. Check out Maggie, very diligent. Um, you know, when Maggie decides to investigate something, she's fearless. She's not scared of repercussions, and she does do her work. Love Kimmy Love. I saw you on that panel the other day. That was really nice to see. Check out Cultivate with Kai, another great content creator. Unwind with Teddy, Mel's World, as we just mentioned, Gooditopia, We the People, Cups of Conversation, Judge Shady Court, Rose Tea Politics. Rose, we want to hear some more of your political breakdowns. Please, I haven't seen anything for a month. Of course, Trevor Green. I was watching the third part this morning and it is hilarious. His portrayal of Ralph, I think, is one of the best characters on there. It's so funny. I mean, it's belly laugh funny for me. You know, and Jag, and that, you know, that seriousness and staring into the camera and talking about these things that are happening. I just love that. And also what I love about Trevor, his caricatures are not they're portrayed very nicely. They're not unpleasant. He doesn't do any horrible exaggerations. Everybody looks beautiful in those
Right.
in his cartoons. It really is nice to see that he's not doing, you know, mocking of features. It's that it is the content really, you know, the words and the words in their own voices. That's hilarious to me. um yeah, so he's added a few characters. Love Trevor Green. Please go and support all these guys we're talking about. Also, don't forget dropping the tea. Conscious TV is another person that I like to watch. I love his breakdowns and some of his drags. He's quite funny as well, but he's also blends the some of the comedic stuff with the serious issues that are going on in the government, you know, and around the traps in the tea sector. And also, there are many people like Golden who are making music. You've got Atlas Family Music, you got Dropping the Tea, and also another one of my favorites, Gooditopia. Love the way she mixes the samples with her music. Her music's great. Golden's music's great. Dropping the Tea's music's great. Atlas Family Music is great. They're different start. They're different and unique in their own way, but it's really good music, and we should support people that are making music independently without the backing of big record labels. You know, go out there and support the music that they're making. Um, what else was I going to say? Oh yes, I was going to say that. It's Pride Month, and I did hear around the traps that Vampy may be doing some stuff on Pride. I think this is a really good thing because, especially Vampy, if you do the history of Pride, because Pride is it's now a party, but it started as a protest, and I think that you can give us a really good breakdown of the history of Pride and what goes on around the world, because there's many different things that go on around the world during June Pride Month. And I think that'd be really interesting for people to tap in and see. not just because you're from the community, but it's because it's a very important thing, and it's a very important part of people who are targeted and are being persecuted around the world. So I'd be interested in seeing something that you do on Pride. I think it would be a good thing. Like I said, I think it's relevant because it's June and it's Pride Month. So I did hear that from around the traps that you might be doing something on Pride. And, I think it's very interesting to give the history and why it developed. It's a bit like the Notting Hill Carnival that's in London came about because Black people were being attacked by skinheads in London, and they decided to have this. First of all, it started as a protest, and then it became a carnival party celebrating the culture. So a lot of these things do start as protests and end up as these carnivals and parties. And I think it's good for people to remember the history of why it happened and why it came about, and that they're not just street parties and they're not just colourful flags. There are people who have suffered and been persecuted and been unalived because they belong to particular communities, like the LGBTQIA community, like the Black community, like the Latino community, like the Asian community. There's many people that formed these protests that became kind of carnival celebrations, but the history is important. So I'll be interested if you do something on that. That was really it for me.
I thought that was wonderful. Beautiful message that you started off with. And yes, thank you so much, because we do love these content creators. We all need to stick together if we can, but we at least can all support one another in some shape or form. And absolutely, it definitely is Pride Month. And we know that because we have a lot of our friends and our family that we love dearly. And we celebrate right along with them. And like you said, the history of how all of that was started is very important. And so I do want to say one thing, piggybacking off of what you said when it comes to Vampy. I don't like all of the stuff that is going on, but I want to be very clear about one thing. I don't have any hate in my heart for anybody based off of them being their gender identity or their sexual preference. That's not a thing at all. That has nothing to do with why I get angry, why I may say things. It is about actions, behaviors, spirit, stuff like that. And when it comes to Vampy, I've always been very open and honest with her about when I feel like she's out of pocket and doing way too much. But the fact that I think she's talented and she has great skills and abilities that she can do so much more with. And that's why we talk about things the way we do here on this platform. It's because we all know that we fall short sometimes, and we're on our own journey to try to be the best versions of ourselves. But we have to understand that there's something that we're doing or we're showing up as that is not in the best of taste, and we have to target it, we have to fix it, and we have to make it better. And so that's the only issue and the only thing that I have to say. I don't hold hate in my heart for anyone. Um, but yeah, I think that she could really make some really great content when it comes to that, as far as Pride Month, and be able to pour into it with, real and personal experiences, histories, and all of that. So thank you for pointing that out. And yes, also want to say that there was a excellent live that happened on Kimmy Love's platform, where she was able to bring peace and understanding to a situation that was at first misconstrued and started off as, conflict and friction. But a lot of times that happens because we don't know all of the story. We don't have all of the context when it comes to certain things. And we may just have our faves and stuff like that. And so we jump out gun ho. I've done it multiple times. That's why I know it's a thing, right? But as I've learned and navigated through, I feel like we have to get the full story, and there's two sides to every story, and in the middle is the truth. That's what my grandma has always said. But I really love the way that she was able to bring, clarity to a situation that was probably a bit confusing, and was causing tension. And at the end, it was a kumbaya moment. People saw things differently and walked away without literally slicing and dicing each other up respectfully. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so you
Um,
can go ahead
can
and
I just say one more thing? Because I don't want any confusion and any clips and any misunderstandings about what I just said about Vampy and the Pride content. That is not to say that that is the only content that Vampy should be covering. I think lived experiences are better to tell the story of what happened historically and what's happening now. That's not to say that Vampy should only do that content. She should do any content she feels like it. But I heard her say that she was going to do some content with regards to Pride. So I am not saying that that's the only box that she should be placed in. She should do any content that she feels like, and people have the right to disagree or to comment on it. But I'm saying that I heard that she wanted to do some content on Pride. So I'm not trying to put her in a box because she doesn't belong in a box. She's a very talented person artistically as well. And she does some great stuff, artwork. She has, I'm sure she's got a plethora of things that she can do content on. I just thought it would be interesting. I would be really interested to see somebody talking about this stuff. I've had a lot of experience rescuing people who've been rejected by parents, by by f- um, by partners, by family, um, and it is just like racism. It has a history, it has a pain, and it's a lived experience can tell you better than anyone else what it's like to be um, persecuted. But also, they can also show you the joy and the happiness. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think the Pride March in London is this weekend. It's probably this weekend or next weekend. I'm not sure about the dates, but I know that London Pride, they have a big march, and then there is a party that happens, somewhere in Soho, and Soho, just for historical purposes, is where there was a man that was there was a far right a guy a few years ago. He targeted a a pub in Soho and left a trigger warning bomb there that killed many people. And it was, I can't remember whether it was around Pride month, but it did happen right in the center of Soho, which is an area a bit like what's that place in the US? Um, in New York, where there were a lot of gay bars and stuff in Manhattan, the Village. So Soho is a bit like the Village in New York, and a lot of people were hurt historically. I can't remember the name of the guy, but yeah, there's been a lot of history around this stuff. So I do think it's important. But I'm not trying to put you in a box and say that's all you should do, because I don't want any misunderstanding of what I'm actually trying to say here.
absolutely, Imani, I agree. And that's what that wasn't, what we were saying. So I just hope that's very clear. That we're not saying, oh, just do that. No, she can do so many great things. And she does have a lot of talent. She does have a lot of talent and skill. We see it, we notice it. We're not haters. We're not gonna say that you're not. But again, like I was saying, it's just about actions and behaviors and energy, and what you put out there. So, we all have to sometimes look in the mirror and check ourselves about our actions, behaviors, and things like that. I know I have to, because sometimes I'm popping off, and off the
So do
chain.
I. So do I.
So
So do
it's
I.
nothing.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it every day, but sometimes I just can't help myself.
Yeah, and it's it's also a lot of stirring of pots that cause people to clash into one another and get into, arguments and fights. Because a lot of people don't like to see unity. They don't like to see people lift one another up. They like the fighting. They like the chaos. The drama. They come for the drama, and so they'll do things sometimes to keep it ignited. But now that we peep game, we're trying our best, and we're going to continue to try our best to not let that happen. And if we do have to pop out and say something, we are talking directly to someone, not a whole group of people, not a whole race of people, nothing like that. It is just that individual at that time that we may be having some type of controversy with. And that's all it is, y'all. I mean, come on. That's too easy. But Mama's gonna come up a little bit later because she has a few things to say as well. But we're gonna move right forward and get into y'all Dame Dash, y'all. We gotta go back to Dame. So I did go ahead and find the timestamp here as far as when he's talking about the Jay-Z freestyle at the Roots Festival. So we're gonna just play that part a little bit, stop and do some commentary and stuff like that. And I got a special song that I made y'all. Y'all gonna have to let me know if y'all like it. But let's go ahead and pull this up right here. Let's listen to what he has to say about Jay-Z, y'all. And we'll be right back. We'll meet you in the chat.
Damon's gonna do a surprise. I'm not. I'm not getting on that dusty stage. Next question.
So when he said the line about your teeth tumbling out, you didn't feel the type of way.
I got my teeth. That's an old joke. That was corny. He said something that everyone. I was expecting something clever. Like I have my. They didn't tumble out, but if they did, that was 2 years ago. That's so 2 years ago. 50. Why would I be mad at that? I'm like, this thing actually. I was just more like so shocked that he's broke, allegedly, just based on that motion. Like I don't see like if he has a loan, how he's bankable because of all the accusations. So it looks like he got to work because he's working. Let me ask you a question. If he hasn't said anything in 20 years, why you think he's starting out? Why after 20 years and you 60, do you want to come back outside? And you got, look, even Charlemagne was defending this today. He's so allegedly gay about it. He doesn't even hide it. Pause. They're so gay for each other. Or he's so gay for this nigga. Pause. Like he wouldn't even admit that rap was terrible. That did you like? Was that a Jay-Z rap? Was that ROC? We running this rap shit. That he didn't put me on no Summer Jam screen. Pause. You can't do shit like that and come back with your teeth fell out a year ago with stupid hair. Like, would you ever think that Cam would have big teeth and or Fredo, and that Jay would have a lion's mare with a goat face? Would you ever think this would happen? I never thought this would happen. I'm in the look how cool I still am. These niggas lost it. These niggas gotta be broke to do this shit. Who would put them big ass teeth in their mouth if they didn't have to? Who would do that? Why would you wear them stupid ass suits? He knows those suits are stupid. Those suits are terrible. Why would he keep doing it? To make me nauseous? And this is another thing about Jay that I still wonder about, being that he wants to be funny. Jay's breath always used to stink. And you know why? Because for some reason, don't you hate when they got bad breath and chew Big Red? It's just cinnamon doodle. Nobody wants to smell that. I hope this nigga is not still chewing Big Red with bad breath on that mic because that mic must have been stinking. And then he dressed up like a mic. This is not the version, Jay. Please come. We make Jay great again. That's the new slogan. Make him great again. I don't want to see this happen. Yo, you gotta admit, when you saw the hair, you was laughing, bro. You knew this was gonna be funny. But who told them? Wait, hold on. But hold on. Who you think told? I want to know who told them to do that and like how they put the wig on. How do you think they did that? Like, don't you think they would have videotaped them cutting it off and it'd been on the bit? It's no more Dookie. What do you call him? Dookie Wick J. That new name is Dookie Wick. Boss. I don't know how these brothers cutting this thing up with them Dookie Wicks. And then he comes back with that shit. That was the why? What the fuck is he doing? Yo, talk to your man, B. Yo, Jay Brown, you still my man, man. Don't let him do that. No more wigs. Put the wig down. No more Dookie Wicks. Pause. And no more wigs. Next question.
Me personally, I mean, when Jay Brown got Beans and Freeway, that was a dope moment to me personally, you know. So
yeah, I mean, again, it's not the same. It's not state property Freeway. I mean, I'm sorry, Beans. No disrespect to Beans, but he's been through a lot. So it's just not the same. Like, I'm used to pause fat Beans. Pause. You feel me? We want chubby Beans, the Broadway bully. You know, no disrespect, but things have happened. But that's not the version that's not the last visual I'd like to see of state property. Let's say that. Freeway, again, he makes albums with me. I feel like Jay needed Freeway because they didn't show the show. Like, it's just a bunch of whack shit. Let me ask you a question. When is the last time that Jay had a hit record? And don't say 40, 40, 40, whatever that shit is, because that wasn't a hit. I want to know a hit record. When's the last time he made a hit movie? When the last time he made a hit clothing line? When the last time he made a hit anything? All he does is do brunches. Like, he hasn't pushed the bar creatively, individually in this century. Like, we want to see some creativity. I don't want to hear about lawsuits all day. That's what I hear more about him is lawsuits. But I'd rather, he was, I guess he wasn't. I feel like it might have been all me now. Because he's been whacked since I wasn't around. You know what I mean? To me. He been funny dressing. And then he started growing branches. He turned into a tree. Pause. And now he's a bush. Pause. He went from a tree to a bush. That's the most interesting thing he's done is done funny hair. That's been classic.
All right, okay, we gotta take a quick commentary break. I'm sorry, y'all. I could not hold myself back. Y'all, we already at 6. We had 6 pauses, and I think I might have missed one. But he talking about his hair, he talking about his appearance, and he said a branch and a bush. And he felt like when he said branch and bush, he had to say pause. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I cannot. And I'm sorry, I don't know. He looked a little sauce to me, but allegedly, I can't be sure. I don't know what's in the sippy cup that he got. But you're hating. Like, why are you hating all of these years later in your life so great? If your life's so great, why are you so big mad and worried about his life? And yes, he dropped the bar and he clowned you a bit, but that did happen and it was funny. Like, a lot of people did laugh at that. So it's just like, what's the problem here? I don't understand. Oh, Mom then hopped into the chat. What's up, Mom?
Hello.
Ma, make sure you have the TV muted before you come up. So there's no echo. Let me know when you got it muted because it'll have like that back echo sound. All right, try it now. Try it now.
Okay, does it sound better now?
Yeah, that sounds fine. Well, I do
Okay,
hear a
well,
little bit of
hello
that.
to the chat. Hello to you, ladies. And everybody's having a wonderful day. I just want to come and piggyback on what Imani said. I have been thinking about Pride Month. I like Pride Month. I have a lot of family members and say Happy Pride Month to the YouTube community and the community. And I want to just leave a little note to understand this. Yes, as DD Fox, I have had a little issue with one individual who happens to be in the community. But today, I am telling her Happy Pride Month. I'm glad that all of them, have been showing up and supporting one another, being there for one another. I understand the hard and terrible struggle that they have had in their community as well as other communities. I understand what they've been through, what they go through. And today I'm just sending a little love and some admiration and a happy Pride Month to all, including the individual that I have been having problems with. This too shall pass one day. But anyway, um, I think it's very important that we all in the world make sure that we remember that we honor and respect the LGBTQI community and their Pride Month and their accomplishments. They are people, they are human beings, and many of us love them. And I just wanted to make sure that I was able to say that. And for that individual, I'm just letting her know I do not hate you. I have disliked you. We have bumped heads. You've said things, I've said things, and that's all that was. But I don't want anyone to think that because it was between me and her, I have something against the entire community. That is not correct at all. And I wanted to make that very clear. So as I say, to the LGBTQIA plus community, I, DD Fox, is saying have a happy month this month. Have a happy life, period. Enjoy your life. Stay present. Stay out there. Hold your head up. Always walk with pride and understand that this is a world and we're all people in it and we have to love you as you love us. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm not going to hold the mic long. I'm going to go back into the chat. I'm enjoying this. The good alive today. And just want to say love to the world. How about that?
Oh, thank you, Mama. Thank you for
Okay,
that.
All right.
Golden,
Yeah, go ahead,
can I,
Imani. Start.
this this man, okay, he wants to talk about Jay's freestyle and saying it was crap. But all he can talk about is Jay's hair, his teeth, and his breath. I mean, this is an example of why the older version of yourself should never be an apology to your younger self. Because he is just growing old disgracefully, as far as I'm concerned. He's speaking like he's some high school guy. I mean, he's 55. And these are and some, we've been talking about this, about people using personal attributes to actually roast people. It's not clever, it's not smart, and he sounds dumb, as well as having to navigate through the pauses that he has because he doesn't want to be labeled a certain type of gender or sexuality. He's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. And he's bitter. It just shows his bitterness, and he hasn't let it go. I mean, I thought he was going to say something about the freestyle, but he said something about that Jay-Z's wearing a wig. He's he's got false teeth, yet your false teeth fell out in an interview. You're in no position to be talking about hair and teeth. A, because you have neither of them that are your own. I mean, it's just, I don't know. He really has abandoned who he was. And, when he was younger, he was out there, he was a go getter. And he's always talking about the money that people have, but he filed for bankruptcy. What are we doing here? It's the hypocrisy for me. It's the stupidity. It's the childishness. And like I said, the older version of yourself should never be an apology to your younger self. Really and really, I don't even know what to say. Anyway, that's me.
No, I agree. And just like we said yesterday, and I continue to say today, he gives all hater vibes. He is very much a hater. Sir, I just don't understand. Like, exactly. If you are going to critique somebody's art because you're saying, that you have these gripes with this person because they don't make art anymore, like they don't perform, they don't make songs, they don't do any of those things, then why is it you're tapping into their appearance? Like, it's giving very catty. It's giving very, I don't know what's in that cup. It's giving very, sir, move on with your life. You're bitter. You're bitter and you're jealous. And let's be clear, I ain't, whatever. Necessarily a fan of Jay-Z's or anything like that. But I listen to rap and I pay attention to the culture. You know what I'm saying? It comes with the program. But in this sense, it's like, sir, it's giving very obvious that you are jealous and you're bitter. And how can you possibly sit up here and talk about features on someone else with, like, you don't look in the mirror every morning? Like, bruh, did you get those veneers yet? Or do you still got the dentures that you got grills attached to, and they so heavy that's why they tumbled out your mouth like they did? Bruh, we gonna have to do better here. Don't don't. And every time he just keeps saying the same thing over and over.
Not only that, Golden, he didn't analyze that freestyle because what Jay-Z said is all of you are looking at the wrong things. You're looking at the wrong numbers. He's looking at legacy. He's looking at what he's created about ownership. You're looking at him charting. That's not what his goal is. And if you look at what he's done with the Super Bowl, let me tell you, you need to shut the F up, Dane, because you are sounding like a chatty Patty and a bitter Betty combined. I mean, he was talking, I don't even like to say it. He just sounded like a B. In fact, he sounded like a BAN. He really, 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 really was. Oh, he was embarrassed. As Maggie would say, I was embarrassed for him.
It's definitely giving chatty patty. But let me tell y'all what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick song break because I gotta go ahead and take some chicken nuggets to my son. I gotta be real about that. The one human one, the two dog sons, they already ate. Their food is in their bowl. But anyway, let's take a quick song break, y'all. And y'all was like, I heard somebody
You is an idiot, honestly.
I heard somebody request that I make a song called Pause. So I give you what you want. I made a song called Pause. And since we got Dame here, child, talking his trash, and I think we're already what? How many? 7 pauses in now this I could have lost count. Let's go ahead and play this quick song break, y'all. And I want to take the chicken nuggets to my son. And I will be right back and we'll listen to a little bit more of this conversation, y'all. We will be right back. Thanks for rocking with us. Give me just a sec.
Yeah. They queen. They said don't say everything on your mind. Too late. I came on YouTube, had to fight for my spot. Everybody wanna watch what I got. Whole bunch of bitter folks stuck on the block. I'm moving forward while they watching the clock. Ain't got time for the hate. Let it ride. They keep reaching, I ain't giving no drop. The algorithm finally opening locks. Now they sick, cause they can't stop what I got. I hopped on YouTube, had a dream in the mic. People said I wouldn't grow overnight. Then I started putting pressure on pipes. Now everybody wanna see what I'm like. Some creators cool, some creators weird. Some of y'all been angry for 1,000 years. Still talking about beef from another career. I'm trying to build a house, y'all done some souvenirs. They stay digging through the dirt for a bone. Meanwhile, I'm building something solid of my own. They be obsessed every time that I'm shown. I got fans, they got screenshots on their phone. That's nasty. That's nasty. I came on YouTube, had to fight for my spot. Everybody wanna watch what I got. Whole bunch of bitter folks stuck on the block. I'm moving forward while they watching the clock. One channel down and another one grew. Funny how success make a hater come through. They be watching every move that I do. Got notifications on before I do. Bright, why you shining so bright? Maybe cause I work. Why you typing all night? Maybe cause I learned how to turn on right. Maybe cause the truth got a powerful bite. I don't need 10 fake friends in my face. Rather have a few real ones holding their place. Some folks run circles, never leave the same place. Like a treadmill full of envy and hate. Run forest, got a vibe changing. New era coming. People healing. People building. Peak people laughing. Peak people living. But some folks still parked in 2017. Arguing with ghosts on imaginary scenes. Mad at everybody chasing all their dreams. Looking real tired if you know what I mean. I seen creators turn enemies to friends. I seen fake beef finally come to an end. I seen channels disappear in the wind. And I seen underdogs do it again. See the internet funny, it'll teach you fast. Some people grow, some become they past. Some people heal, some keep holding glass. Try and cut everybody while they crash. Me, I'ma laugh, secure my bag. Keep my foot on the gas, never living in the past. If you still with it, that's a personal tax. I got blessings to count and a future to grab. Pause. Big queen. They said, how long you gonna keep saying pause? Forever. YouTube taught me one thing. If they can't beat you, they'll tweet you, watch you, copy you, study you, and accidentally become your biggest fan.
All right, y'all, I'm back. Child had to run and do that so quick. But I hope y'all like this song. What's up, Mom Star? Thanks for coming in. How you doing? We appreciate you coming in. 1-800 Brick City. Thank you so much for returning as well. We just heard from Mama. She watching in the background. Trend V4S. Thank you for coming in and support as well. We appreciate that. Let me see. And Imani, of course, she here with me. And of course, my baby Carlos is listening in the background. But yeah, y'all. So we in here, we rocking and we kicking it. So before we go on to the next segment and play a little bit more of the video, y'all, what y'all think of the song? Did y'all like that song? What did you think, Imani?
Yeah, you as usual. Write a song in 2 seconds. Any subject that's given to her. Believe you me, this girl writes tracks all the time. I knew you'd have a pause track. What next?
I said that's a good idea. I was like, yeah, I think I could do that. I can write a pause song.
Yeah.
You see, like the traditional meaning to the pause is not really attached to the song or not, but I just thought it was funny. So many pauses was in there. But yeah, I was talking to Carlos yesterday, right after the live, and he was saying like that is a thing, like pause is a thing. However, it's just Dame just be using it in the wrong way. Like he say it way too much, and then he think that's cool or something. So I don't know, but I did learn about, you know, the background and the history of, like, you know, how that came across. And Polo was here the other day, and Polo was saying, like, yo, that's literally what they trying to say, or why they say it or whatever. So it's just like,
Yeah, yeah, I know it's a thing, but like you said, he uses it way too much, way too much. And, you know, when he came to London, he did an interview with another guy who says, pause way too much. And honestly, the interview must have had about 20 pauses in a sentence. It was ridiculous. You couldn't even get what they were trying to talk about. But, you know, he says it way too much.
definitely. But yeah, let's go ahead and listen to some more, y'all, because we're gonna get through this. And we probably won't be able to finish it all the way to the end because we don't want to hold y'all too long. So you know, if you want to watch the whole interview, or if you already have, you know, whatever, check out Art of Dialogue, a really great channel, does really great interviews, and you can see the full interview and the rest of this over there. After we done with a little bit more of this one, we're gonna move back on to Maya, beautiful Maya, and Kiki Palmer, talking about self-love and, you know, pivoting, navigating away from things that just no longer serve you, basically. And then in the end, we're gonna hear some comedy because, you know, we got Mike Epps over there with Ice Cube on Big Boy TV, and it's always funny when Mike Epps is in the room. And, you know, of course, y'all, we're getting another Friday movie, but we also seeing a lot of male camaraderie as well. So that's great to watch and see. But let's get some more into this video and see how many more pauses we'll get, in addition to hate. All right, y'all, let's get back into it.
Those hairstyles are classic. But I think his friends should tease him a little. They'll keep him a little cooler. Because that would not be tolerated. None of that shit would have ever happened at Roc-A-Fella. I wouldn't have let it. I would have been on the floor too hard. I would have been crying through the whole set with that hair. Like, you think when he walked in with, oh, that shit is fly. Like, what was the reaction to that when he walked in the room? He was like, I'm gonna give him the flower pot head. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna look like the dandelion, you know, the flower, when you blow the flower and everything, I'm gonna look like that. Pause. You feel no one's gonna think it's a wig. Like, I don't understand the plotting behind that. So let's move on. I could do this all day. If he wants to snap, we could snap. He makes it easy. He's a very awkward guy. No swag. I wouldn't keep me around me if I was him.
Speaking of Drake, how you feel about him and Jay taking shots at each other?
I think Drake's gonna toast him. I'm looking forward to it. If Drake doesn't kill him, then he's out of here. This is easy work for Drake. I don't know, or something's happening. I don't know. Maybe he's baiting him. Maybe he has something on him. But I believe Drake's gonna, because you see, Drake's relentless. Like I said, I don't think Drake can handle Kendrick, but I think he'll just. I mean, Jay's like sick. He's an old man. Like the other day, this dude came in here and he acted inappropriately, but he was 80. And I had to tell him, I'm like, bro, 40 years ago, I would have had to fuck you up, but you're 80. So it's like, it's almost going to be like abusive for Drake to punish this like that. It's basically based on what I just saw. He needs to go to like he needs to get back in rock star shape. He don't got the breath like he used to. Pause. Like, not even, he wasn't that, you know, I think I'm curious to see what Drake's going to do. I think it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what Nicki Minaj is going to do. These are all people that actually can rap these days. They can still rap. I know for sure Big Daddy Kane will kill Jay right now. You saw once they said that shit, Big Daddy Kane was like, blah, 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 blah. No dissing nobody, no nothing. Just still Big Daddy Kane. Jay can't do that no more. And then I know, like, I felt like, and I don't know if it was AI, but when I saw when he actually said the rhyme, I saw people booing. I didn't see this crowd go crazy like it was a mic drop. I think people were like, the teeth. I got Dr. I can guarantee you my teeth are better than Jay's and that my breath smells better. Pause. My teeth were more expensive than Jay's. Ask Dr. Appa. Just go to Instagram and go to Dr. Appa Aesthetics or Appa Aesthetics and look at my dentist. And go to his dentist, and then you're gonna know why they chew Big Red and it smells like doodle with cinnamon sprinkled on it, which is nauseating.
But I do think a battle between Drake and Jay, that would be competitive. I mean, Jay, he still raps at a high level. I mean, me personally, the freestyle was dope, so.
That shit was terrible, bro. You know it was terrible. That's just emotion, bro. But logically, that shit was terrible. And is any young kid saying it was good? Name one young kid that said it was good. Name people love Jay, but they better be careful. But they don't want to dress like him. I don't see you with no funny afro or no stupid ass doodle whips. When has he done anything creative? When has he done hit anything in this century? Just let him relax, man. Let him start a GoFundMe or something. I want him to do better. If you're gonna diss me, better rhymes than that. That shit was whack. That was whack. My interviews are way better than all his records. Every interview I've done has been better than every song that he's done. And his interviews are terrible. He just offends people. I think he has I got the earpiece here. I know that someone's telling him what to say in the earpiece. He's not. I think there's someone telling him what to say now. I'm cutting this thing up. Hey, Jay, I'm cutting you up right now. How about that? You want to start playing? I'll heat your ass up. Pause. Real easy, like I always did. You can't take jokes. But you started with jokes. But above and beyond suing me and taking me to court and accusing me of shit I didn't do and all that shit that most people would be really upset about, you still my nigga. I still have compassion for you. Don't work too hard. I know your knees hurt. I know your chest was hurting. And stay healthy, man. We need you, bro. Don't go too hard.
So with that being said, is it any way you and Jay can come to a common ground?
Yeah. He has to cut that stupid haircut off. And he has to send some money over. Oh shit, he might not have that. I don't know, man. I don't really feel like it though. It's not like I don't want to hang out with, I don't want to smell his breath, bro. I don't want to smell Big Red with doodle. Why would I want to do that? And there's beautiful women around me. And I'm doing the things I love. I left before. I was I don't want to, look how I dress and look how he dresses. Look at my swag, look at his. Look at my hairstyle, look at his hairstyle. I don't have any hair, but I'm not going to put a wig on. I'm not even going to dye my hair. I'm definitely not putting doodle wigs on me. He's not from Miami. I don't get it. Why you want to look like an octopus? I didn't get any of it. And I'm not a rapper. That's another thing. So the only way I'm gonna eat, he did a diss record. So this is a diss interview. The stream is a stream, bro. He could make up all the people. He could get Nori, he could get Bleak, he could get Charlemagne and everyone to try to control the narrative, but nobody's listening. He's not, if he was good at what he did right now, people would probably believe it. But right now he's terrible. There's no distraction. The hair, why would you want to distract people from your rhymes with a stupid hairstyle? You want people to focus on your rhymes. But again, how are you going to just say no more battle rap in the interview and then go and start a battle with 5 people? How are you going to say you own a basketball team, but you just walk away without selling your interest? And it looks like, allegedly, it's like 1/16 of a percent. How do you walk around the Super Bowl like you own it, but you're just an employee that gets paid less than the people playing on the field? You don't even get paid more than the people that are on the field. The players get more money than you. He's a custodian. The only person that gets more money or less money than Jay on the field is the people cleaning the bill. I believe the refs make more money than Jay and the Super Bowl.
All right, Imani, I'm gonna go ahead and let you start off with this one, child. What is your thoughts and feelings and opinions on this segment right here?
Listen, you got a man saying pause every 2 seconds, and the only thing you can talk about is another man's suits, his breath, his hair, his looks. Who is the one who's more obsessed? And you got the audacity to say pause, and the only thing you're talking about is another man's appearance. You need to get yourself right, then.
I
The
mean,
second
at
thing
this,
is,
it
the
sounds like
second thing is, he's so invested. Look how much he knows. He's such a hater. He's so envious. He's so jealous. He actually thought that was a flex, saying all that. Kept saying the man's breath. What? How do you know what a man's breath smells like?
that
Pause, dame. you you need to check yourself, because you definitely wrecked yourself. He's not bothered about you. You're more invested in what he's doing than he is in you. He came out and said two things about you, and you've gone off. Why? Because you're proving what he's talking about. You're a chatty patty. I don't even know what to say. There was nothing in there that should even that Jay-Z would even be bothered about. And then to talk about Drake, he already addressed Drake in the freestyle. You know, let Drake talk for Drake if he's going to talk. But I personally think he's going to think very carefully before he comes out, because they know he's ready. He's ready for them this year. He said this is the year he's going to return the favor to them. I mean, he was just ridiculous. All his stuff that he said was about his appearance, and he thinks that that was a get back. He sounded like an idiot. He sounded like a hater, like he always does. And I've got to say, the fact that he's saying that Jay is 60 when he's 55 and Jay's 56 is another thing. He sounds like a bee. He sounds like, honestly, I hate to say it, because not even women are that bad. That was a joke. He is a joke. And it stumped him when the guy from Art of Dialogue said, I actually thought it was quite good. He didn't know what to say, because he's so busy and so wrapped up in his hate, he can't think of anything else. He probably monitors him daily, probably monitors Jay-Z daily, what he's doing. He never makes it. Every interview he does, he never makes himself look good. And that is that point that I said, never make your younger self be ashamed of your older self. Because right now, his younger self is going, stop. Please. That's all I got to say. But go and support Art of Dialogue, because they do have really great interviews. But this guy, he delivers what you expect.
exactly, like the platform is amazing. Like Art of Dialogue platform is amazing. But this dude sitting up here, like you said, and this is the thing for me. Let's pay attention to this, y'all. Let's put the pieces together. This man is sitting up here talking about another man's appearance as far as his hair, the clothes that he wears, and how his breath smells. Yet also says like pause 10 times within like probably 20 minutes. And also has branded a button that he made that says pause for him in an automated voice. Are we not putting the pieces together here? Something ain't right, allegedly, in my personal opinion. I'm just like, that's why I said yesterday, and I will continue to say, it's very weird. You should not have to say pause that many times. And then when you're going to roast or drag somebody, why you ain't just come out with a freestyle to get him back? You want to come up here and be cheeky. I love that word, cheeky. That's what Imani says, a UK term. But you want to come out here and be cheeky and talk about somebody's hair, their clothes, their breath, their bank account. Like it's giving real man. I'm sorry. It's just giving. Never mind. I can't say it. I can't say it. But anyway, y'all, we're gonna be moving on from this because I just can't watch anymore. This is gonna be the rest of the interview. Him being mean and bitter and jealous and saying the same things that we literally heard him saying over all of these years. So it's nothing different. And somebody roasting you for something that we literally seen happen on screen. It's like, bro, just take the L on the chin, laugh at yourself, and keep it pushing. You still mad about something that happened how long ago? How long ago? That's crazy word. That means you're stuck in the past. But you're supposed to be so accomplished. You're a businessman now. Your money is good. Your life is good. You're happy. You're healthy. You all of the things. Why are you still so bitter? If you all of those things, you wouldn't be that bitter. And this is giving bitter. And yeah, I know he clowned you, but a lot of people clowned you. They clowned you in the comment section when they seen them teeth tumble out your mouth. So what did he do that nobody else did? You have this rivalry with him that you've had for years and years and years that you can't let go. You can't let it go. And who's been talking about who more? You talk about him all the time. Jay-Z don't talk about you regularly. He don't even really do interviews or public appearances like that, but you do. And every time you do, you always want to bring up old bones. This is what I don't understand about these bone collectors. Bringing up old bones. That's how you know they haven't got over it. Perfect example of bone collectors. When you have made peace, when you have moved forward, when your life is in a good place, you're not going to complain like this all the time. You're not going to keep telling this sad story all the time, like dragging it with you wherever you go. You cut it off. You typically cut it off because you don't want it to be on you no more. But if you haven't cut it off and you still allowed to be attached to you and you still talking about it and you still carry it around with you everywhere you go for years and years to come, that means you haven't healed from it. You haven't moved on. Heal and move on. You have a wife, you have children, you have a business, you have money, you got all the cars in the garage, you got your teeth, you got your dentures, you got your fronts, whatever it is in your mouth. You got your businesses that whatever. Like, you got all of the things. Why is you still so bitter? I don't know you. I just don't know. But before we move on from this, Imani, did you have any final thoughts and opinions? Because I don't want to dive into too much more of this conversation. I like to hear some self-love and uplifting things. So I want to move right along and hear some more of Maya's interview with Kiki Palmer. But
Um,
any thoughts on this?
I don't know because I think I got cut off. I don't know how much you heard of what I said.
Okay.
Can can you hear
What?
me?
What? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I was saying when I was talking before, I don't know if you heard all of what I said.
Go ahead. You can start over. And can you type something else in the chat?
Right, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. No,
Okay.
I don't know how much you heard of what I said before when I was talking about the fact that here's a man saying pause every 2 seconds, and he's talking about another man's appearance all through this interview, and that's all he's got to say. Did you hear what
Right.
I said when I did my commentary? If you did, I haven't got any more to say about the fact that he's a hater, and
Yeah, we heard
younger
all of
self would be ashamed.
exactly. We heard all of that. Yeah, yeah. We heard your
Yeah,
first
no,
commentary.
I've got no more.
Can
I
you
can't
type
really
something
say
in?
anymore because every interview with this guy is like Groundhog Day. Every interview, he's talking about how much he's got and how broke everybody else is and how hard they have to work. But really, he's talking about himself. as far as I'm concerned. He sold out, you know, he decided to sell his share, and he's still bitter to this day. I mean, talking about a man's age who's 18 months older than you, it's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. You know, he sounds like a kid, to be honest with you. Even kids don't talk that childish. But yeah, that's it for me. I've got no more to say on this man. He's too negative.
I agree. But y'all, we're gonna go ahead and take a real quick song break. I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties on the back end that I gotta fix. And so let me just play a quick song real quick, and I'll be right back, y'all. And then we're gonna get into the lovely Maya with her beautiful angelic voice. Oh my gosh, she brings me peace when she speaks. Her voice is just so beautiful. And it's not like it's her spirit, it's her looks, it's her voice, it's all of the things. And Keke Palmer is the exact same way. And they're having such an excellent conversation between two businesswomen that have had to navigate throughout the industry and have learned a lot of great lessons and want to bring those lessons and wisdom to the platform to give to others. So we will be getting into a little bit more of that and I'll be right back.
They thought we wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Yo, Imani, talk your talk. Facts, facts. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie, they been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. So, truth hit harder when the system broke. Talk to him. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fear, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Let's go, let's go. See the cameras flash when the hearing start. Whole room shook when they spoke from the heart. Trying to cut me off, now I claim my time. Every interruption just exposed the crime. History long, but the memory longer. Pressure make diamonds, pressure make stronger. You can twist headlines, spin every thread. Can't rewrite facts when the truth been said. Everybody gangster behind that desk. To the numbers show the public been stressed. Families hurting while they paint pretty pictures. Meanwhile, pockets getting thin about a minute. Facts. Tell them stop capping, quit gas like games. People buy eggs with a pocket full of change. You can fake statistics on a PowerPoint slide, but the checkout line don't never lie. Who gon' speak? We will. Who gon' fight? All night. Who gon' stand when they kill our rights? We will, we will. I came with receipts, I ain't come to play. Expose every lie, they've been selling all day. Head held high, I ain't ducking no smoke. Truth hit harder when the system broke. Let's ride, let's ride. I came with receipts, every file got names. Everybody loud till accountability came. We ain't moving in fair, we applying that heat. Better tighten up now, cause I brought the receipts. Courtrooms echo but the streets hit louder. Every bad ruling made the movement prouder. Take one vote, then we register 10. Built from the block, let the people win. Can't silence voices born from struggle. Look, these dreams through pain and hustle. Grandma marched so I could speak. Now I'm 10 toes down every single week. Every chapter got another revelation. People waking up across the nation. Ain't no crime without confrontation. Truth is the spark for transformation. Wake up, ain't about left, ain't about right. It's about wrong hiding under bright lights. Question everything, don't push your names. Power belongs to the people, not the fame. If they tell you hush, if they tell you wait, move now. If they tell you quit, if they shut one door, if they shut one door, build more doors. Look. Look, I don't need permission. I was born with a mission. Every generation got a choice. I'm choosing resistance. Feel like a weapon, might like a torch. Truth keep burning till it let the hope pour. Kingdoms fall when the people unite. Darkness disappear when they turn on the light. Ain't chasing black, I'm chasing change. Every verse another broken chain. Break it, break it, break it. Every sister standing up. Every brother finding peace. Every time watching us. Learning courage, don't decrease it, multiplies. I can't move the seats. I ain't come to play. Truth don't fall when the headlines fade. Listen to the people. Complete the mission. The mission facts. The movement. Stand up. No fear. We brought the receipts. True facts.
All right, y'all. Thanks for rocking with me with that quick song break. I had to go ahead and take care of something real quick. But yeah, we're about to get into the next portion of the live, y'all. And if you do not know, if you haven't seen the part 1 and the part 2, basically on this live, this next video that we'll be listening to together, this is the one where Maya has to sit down with Keke Palmer, and they have a very open conversation about self-love, independence, and reinvention. Maya transitioned, y'all know, from being the hit Y2K it girl to a completely independent powerhouse, right? So she talks about all of that. She talks about having to pivot and change. She talks about being an independent artist now. And she also talks about a lot of the legends that she worked with that taught her a lot and inspired her to be where she is right now as far as her self-made businesswoman she is. And we know Keke Palmer is the same. And so their conversation that they have is really excellent because I think we all can take a lot from it, not just when it comes to camaraderie between women and not hating on one another, right? But lifting each other up and learning from one another, but also giving some inside information when it comes to being in the industry and a lot of the struggles and strife that women and artists go through within it. So I thought it was an excellent conversation, and they do it so eloquently. So we'll listen to a little bit more of that before we go ahead and hit play. Imani, do you have anything that you would like to add before we start?
No, did we get to the bit where she started talking about her marriage to herself?
No, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Oh, right. Okay. No, I was just wondering where we were starting from.
Yeah, I think she was still on the self-love and talking a little bit on the industry stuff when we ended last. But let's go ahead and
Yeah.
get back into it.
Yeah.
And we're not that far away from the end. We're actually like more than halfway through, but we'll go ahead and bounce around a little bit. But let's hear a little bit more of this conversation, and I believe it'll segue into that part. So let's get into it, y'all. We'll meet y'all.
Be the answer to, but it does include some isolation, some where people are not seeing things from the same vantage point you are, but you got to be brave, you know?
Absolutely. And you also have to have the bravery to step away and take some time to figure out where you like to govern your life and career from. Yeah. And that can be scary as well because of the opinions, etc. But one day at a time, like I said earlier, there's no rush. You must enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I really, really love that. I want to talk a little bit more about Prince and just in terms of how y'all met. I mean, he's not somebody that anybody, everybody get a chance to talk to. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? So what was that like meeting him? And, what did you get to know about him?
Oh, I met Prince before I was independent. I had attended one of his concerts in, I believe it was New Jersey, but then there was an after party in New York. And he wanted to meet me. I'm like, oh my goodness. He knows my name. I just actually released My Love Is Like Whoa, and I tap danced.
He loved talented folk.
That video. And I think that's what it was. There was, musicality and some heavy masterclass training behind that that maybe he acknowledged. But he wanted to meet me. Like, if I ever meet Prince, I gotta be Prince. In order to have a conversation with this man. Girl, and I gotta be cool. So I had to put on this persona like I was just cool, and I was dying all over the place inside.
Yeah, seriously, I can only imagine.
Trying to keep my composure, sweaty hands. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
And he had some heels on.
Which is fabulous.
He was like, would you rock these? I'm like, yes, please. I probably can't fit him. But
Because he looked like he was a size 6.
6, yeah. But it was amazing. And I was just on this natural high all night, thinking that I just met someone that I didn't even know would know my name or that I even exist.
Right.
What? So many instances like that I'm so grateful for.
Did you guys talk any about ever how you guys grew up and just your background? Because I know I didn't really cover it much here, but when I was reading, I was hearing about your upbringing and just dealing with identity and, your mother, I know your mother's Italian and your father's Black. And just, I'm curious if you guys ever shared anything about that growing up in his experience. Okay.
No, it was more so about the independency when we actually had more in-depth conversations.
Yeah.
I'd gone independent. And so when he heard about that, he's like, okay, I gotta make sure that she's well informed about some of the things that I do know and other ways of business models, etc. So those were more of the conversations, or creative and sometimes spiritual, even diet. Prince was vegan, and there were different occurrences, even jam sessions. I got to participate in those. It was great. He's like, pass me a bass, and he said, play it. And I grew up playing violin, right? And so I had to figure it out. So there's music playing in the background, but it's Prince.
Yeah.
Like you can't have 2 left feet or sweaty hands.
Speaking of, just quickly, I have to do a shout out of My Love Is Like Whoa, because that video, girl. And I think, we always knew you could dance and everything like that. But I remember watching that. It was a teenager. I don't know how old I was, but I remember watching that and being like, no, she's serious. Like, I could not believe the level of just talent in that video. What made you do that video that way? Was it because you wanted to just like everybody know real quick? Like, let me flex on y'all real fast.
Honestly, I wanted dancers and all this other stuff in the video initially. But when they said, no, we just want a 1-woman show. Okay, what am I going to do? And it was more so about the outfit changes. I said, okay, I get that, but it can't just be about fashion. So let's come with the characters. Let's come with a little different, aspect of dance. And maybe I should throw some tap in there because I haven't done that visually. I wanted to do it for my very first album on a song called We Gonna Make You Dance, but that was never a single. And so I said, maybe this is the perfect opportunity since it's going to be slightly theatrical. I can bring Broadway to my music. Yeah. Visuals.
Fabuloso.
Yeah, indeed.
Speaking of, indeed. Speaking of My Love Is Like, well, you married yourself in 2013, which, by the way, me too. I married myself in 2025, I feel. It was all accidental, but I love it here.
I want to hear your story.
Baby, this is Kiki Palmer, yeah.
I need everybody to hear me clearly. You do not need a milestone to enjoy yourself. I said what I said. And they'll be just thinking, and they think I'm crazy, or I don't know. I find that sometimes people may even think like, is she hopeless in love? Is she bitter about love? But I'm not. I think I have a son, and I reached a point in my life for me where when I was younger, I think I was spending a lot of time thinking there was a certain way that I should be to get the goal I wanted, and growing up with my parents being married all my life, it was very much like, that's the thing. Cause that's what I saw. That's what I knew, and it was beautiful. They've always loved each other. They've always had a great relationship I've admired. And so I would think, okay, this is how I should be. And this is, if I do this and I do X, Y, and Z, then this is the outcome I'll get. But you experience life and you see that life is actually not a merit system, unfortunately. And this goes across the board. Like, unfortunately, being a good person doesn't mean you're going to get a great job. Having a nice attitude doesn't mean you're going to have the best friends. Being loving doesn't mean you're going to receive love. And so then my faith and my choice to live with integrity came less from thinking that I was going to get a reward from it and more from just, that's who I am and that's what aligns with me.
Yeah.
And then it leaves me in this place of not being open to love and things like that, but just not centering my life around the result of getting it in a certain way. And so when I say certain things, I find it to be interesting with the people's responses to it, whether I say, I'm here for love, but we don't need to be in the same house, or, I would love to, be interested in somebody, but also I'm cool if it never happens. It's interesting, almost I don't want to say projections, but the responses that you can get as a woman to say that and really mean that, and it's almost like because you don't feel like that's the ultimate goal, you've somehow given up. But it's like, what well, what if we were to say that like there are a bunch of outcomes,
Mhm.
there are a bunch of things. So, I never know how serious, you are when you're saying these things sometimes, but I love it because I feel the idea that people think I'll eventually change my mind, or that it's just something needs to happen for me. And it's like, but I am hopeful in love. I do feel these things, but also my life is going to be good regardless. You know what I'm saying?
I do. And it starts with self. And sometimes things that are foreign to people, they're not quite understood. And so also there's projection over their lives from generations, but also society. And we grow up in a world that has this timeline for us that we must all conform to. And they've created the picture, which is so far removed from ancestral community, as well as lifestyle, from the food we eat to how we pray and commune together. Society now has placed this, I'd say, brainwash effect over all of us. And so we only know what we have been taught.
Yeah.
And to unlearn anything or look at something that's much different or slightly different is a shock to our system. And it's easy to criticize it and judge it and think something is wrong with that person. But we're all different on different timelines, and we have different journeys and experiences and trauma to unpack, etc.
Yeah.
But it's speaking of your journey, thank you for that. Because I didn't even know. But I understand you also get the comments.
Yes,
right?
I get so many comments. Yeah.
When your intentions are just pure, honest, raw, real from your experience. And then there's arguments in the comments amongst but I'll share mine. And so there was a music video. There's a wedding dress in a music video, which we all understand.
Yeah.
What that means, the white wedding dress. We've all been indoctrinated to believe that is the happily ever after moment where someone comes into our life and completes it. Right? And sometimes that's the goal.
Yes.
Because that's what we've been taught from the beginning of watching films, where we've given up a gift to receive a kiss from a guy or be chosen before we even choose ourselves. And so when I made that video and that song called The Truth, I knew that I wanted to marry myself in the video as an example of self-love. And this had nothing to do with men, not liking men or being upset or trauma. It had, why would I expect anyone to come into my life if I'm not right within? So let's get you together and then watch what happens, which is where I'm at in my life. When I have practiced self-love, which was the message, that's all. It was no deletion of anything or anyone. It's a message of self-love. I choose me right now because I haven't in the past, and I've poured into others. Narcissistic, by the way. And I didn't like me in those situations. And when I chose to marry myself spiritually, I didn't have a ceremony with a white wedding dress, but I did in the music video because that's an aesthetic. It was still the message of love yourself, pour into you, and watch what you attract, or the blessings will come from that place. But please don't expect to live up to this fantasy or even seek in another person or human being. Be everything that you seek, and then beautiful things happen from that place. And so I am surrounded by love years.
How amazing, and just so jam-packed full of knowledge and wisdom. And I have a few thoughts and opinions, and I'll even be open and share a few things. But Imani, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. Based off of this segment right here that we watched, what are some of your thoughts, feelings, and opinions that come from what Maya just said? Because it was so powerful.
Well, there was a lot of stuff in there. The first thing she said, she was mentored by one of the greats, Prince, and he taught her to invest in herself. He encouraged her to invest in herself and build her own door if one closes. And she talked about not choosing validation and remembering why. I think we spoke about this yesterday, why she started doing what she was doing in the first place, and creating from joy and healing. And, you know, obviously the things that happened in her life made her redefine her success. And then the next bit was about marrying herself in 2013. I mean, if I were to marry myself, I would be so happy. So happy. I wouldn't have to worry about whether I like my cooking. I wouldn't have to worry about what's for dinner and who eats what and who doesn't. I should marry myself. But you know, I can understand. I mean, at first it sounded like a weird concept to me, but the marrying yourself and about is about choosing to love yourself. It's like symbolic rather than the actual ceremony thing. And the fact she talks about the fact that both of them actually married themselves, and both of them are talking. It's really about self-love. It's about loving yourself, and it means that you don't have to hate men to choose to love yourself. It changes who you attract to yourself when you do love yourself and when you do work for yourself. And there are a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of gems in here. I could go on for ages, but I would advise people, if they didn't see this video and the stuff that we commented from the beginning, they should go back and watch this video. It's a great video, and support the channel and support Kiki Palmer, because she does some great interviews. But it really means that your relationship should add to your life, not take away from your life. And a lot of people think self-love is arrogant. It's not. It's about knowing yourself, knowing what you want, and you attract what you put out there. You know, if you hate yourself, you are going to attract a hater, someone who's going to help with that. But yeah, I thought it was really, really good. And there were a lot of gems in this. And I would really advise anybody to, well, I would watch this again, because there were a lot of gems in there. And and it was really weird that both of them did the same thing, like I said. But it's symbolic rather than, you know, the physical part. It's more about the symbolic part of learning to love yourself. And I love the interview, this mutual admiration with women. And we saw it even in the Big Boy TV interview with the men, you know, celebrating their success, encouragement, and encouraging one another. But yeah, that's what I took from that part.
I agree. And that's one of my favorite parts as well. And it's something that I've been paying attention to and learning from, you know, great people like this that have these open conversations. And as far as going all the way, you know, and marrying myself, I have not done that. But when I left from a relationship that was no longer serving me, what it taught me and pushed me into doing was falling in love with myself all over again. Because a lot of times when you're in relationships, and this is, I can't be sure, but I can only speak from a woman's perspective. When you're a woman and you sometimes in a relationship, you sometimes give up too much of yourself, right, to accommodate that said relationship. And it depends on what type of relationship it is, right? And you lose yourself. You lose yourself sometimes being in relationships, and that, you know, fairy tale princess that they've always sold us, that it's going to be this happily ever after, and this prince, you know, in shining armor is going to sweep you off your feet, and that leads with marriage, right? And then you're married and you got the white picket fence and the kids and all the perfect life. And life doesn't always go like that. And when it doesn't happen that way, or when that is interrupted in any type of way, or becomes unhealthy and unsafe for you, you have to pivot and you have to move a different way, and you have to choose what direction you need to go in your life. And when you're by yourself in your solitude, right? Just because you are alone doesn't mean that you are lonely. And in those moments, in those spaces and places in your life, that's when you fall in love with yourself all over again. Because when you start out in life, a lot of times, you know, when we're young, we have big egos because we love ourselves. It's all about us. We haven't invited anybody else into our life necessarily like that on that level when it comes to, like, you know, romantic relationships or whatnot. But even some friendships, but mostly it happens and you lose yourself when you're in romantic relationships. And not everybody does, but it can be, very common that that happens. And once you're out of it, or you get out of it, and you get to being just by yourself in solidarity, you fall in love with yourself all over again, because you remember who you were before you entered into that relationship. And a lot of times when you enter into relationships, you change. You change because you accommodate, you adapt to other people's feelings and emotions and needs, and you don't pay enough attention to your own. So once you have that time to just sit there by yourself in solidarity, you fall back in love with yourself all over again, because you see now, and you get back all of the great things about you that you suppressed because you was in this relationship or this experience or whatnot where you were suppressing those things. And so when you fall deeply in love with yourself, which is what we're taught, when you're deeply in love with someone and you spent so much time with someone, you typically go on to marry that person, right? So y'all can spend a lifetime together. So marrying yourself, the action of doing it, or the expression of doing it, it may seem weird to people, like, yo, you're mad lame, like, how you marrying yourself? What you're marrying is, I'm never going to not be in a relationship or in a close proximity to myself, meaning loving myself, my personality, all of the things that are great and good about me. I'm going to attach myself to those forever, right? Because it's till death do us part. So you have to attach yourself back to yourself, because a lot of times when you get into relationships, you become detached from yourself because you're attaching too much of yourself to someone else and changing and shifting how you are and who you are. And so I thought that that was very deep and very powerful. And Carlos has got some comments here. What's up, dropping the tea? Hey, dropping the tea for coming in. I know V Love, you said he's on this journey as well. So it's a great journey to be on. And since I've been with Carlos, I'm telling you for real, he really helps me be better, because this is something that he has mastered in his life. And he helps me to understand that that's the goal. Peace is always the goal. Self-love is always the goal. And it's something that I was struggling with. And since I've been with him, he's teaching me how to be better at that. So we have these type of deep conversations all the time, right? And he has some excellent advice and wisdom to bring to me when it comes to that. And we also hear Maya, as she's sitting here having this conversation with Kiki Palmer, saying that as well. So as much as people may think it's strange, it's not strange. It's actually like getting back to self. And like Carlos is saying, not allowing people to disturb your peace, because your peace is priceless. And you, who you are as a person at the root and at the core, you have to love yourself more than you love anybody else. And when you do that, when the time comes, or if that's something you choose to do, you'll be able to love someone else much better, because you know what it is to love yourself. And so that's all I got to say on that part. Do you have any additional thoughts, Imani, before we hit play?
No, I'd just like to say, if you've been listening to us this week, most of the message has been about protecting your peace this week. In all of those readings that we did, it really is about protecting your peace. And that comes with loving yourself and not wanting chaos or disruption in your life, and choosing to walk away, like I was talking about earlier, and letting go of the chaos and disruption. But it really is about protecting your peace. But that's it. Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah. And one final thing I want to say too is, even if you are on that journey and have decided to be on that journey, just like anything in life and any journey in life, sometimes you may make a wrong turn, right? You may make a mistake. You may fall off of the train a little bit, but it's not to say give up the entire journey and the entire movement, because as you're navigating through something new that you've never done before, mistakes will happen. You'll find yourself, returning to your old ways and how you were, because you probably spent a lot of time being that way, right? Not necessarily loving yourself, putting others before yourself. And you've been so accustomed to doing that even when you're on that journey, every now and then you might slide. You slide back into your own, your old ways and your old patterns. And I want to tell people, don't beat yourself up if that happens, because it's human nature, right? You still are on a positive uproot journey, and you continue on it. And sometimes you fall short. Sometimes you take a wrong turn. But as long as you bring yourself back, and know and focus on where you're going and what you're doing and your reason for doing it, you'll be all right. So that's just one of the things that I wanted to say too, because I know a lot of times when we are trying and we're on these journeys to be better, to be the best version of ourselves, to change, whatever it may be, for whatever reason it may be. Sometimes we backslide, or we make a mistake, or we make a bad turn, but it doesn't mean give up all hope and stop the journey. Continue on the journey, continue on the path, because the best way that you get to the best version of yourself, you have to remember, practice makes perfect. And so each day you keep coming back, and each day you keep trying. That's the practice. And once you practice enough, you become really good at it. So much so, this is now your new normal. And your old normal, yeah, you might fall back into that sometimes. But your new normal is on the other side and at the end of that tunnel. But you have to keep working. You have to keep pushing. Don't give up, and don't be ashamed if sometimes you may fall off sometime. And that's all I want to say on that. And we'll get back into a little bit more of the content, y'all. What's up, Star? How you doing, Star? And Carlos, yeah, thank you for coming back in. I know you always be listening in the background, boo. But yeah, Carlos is really wise. He's a very wise person, and he really has taught me a lot. And he's helping me be a better person, right? After going through some things that I went through in my life. So I love him for that. And shout out to my boo. And hey, dropping the tea. What's up, world? All right, let's get back into the video. We'll meet y'all over in the chat.
Years and years later, all kinds of love. And it doesn't necessarily have to be tied to one person, as society teaches us. And so that's just an inkling of my story when I started practicing self-love, because I was neglecting self prior to.
I feel like these are such empowering themes and things to think about in the face of like just life and love and moving forward and expectations. And I find it to be so interesting, the resistance that can come from these types of things. I'm so curious what comments we're gonna be getting under this video, because it's like, to me, that's like, that feels actually more empowering than it's gonna come someday, or whatever that is, so
and that's just individualistic to you and your experience and your story. It's not preaching this is the way you have to do it. No, because I really truly believe you don't have to have yourself together for love to be granted in your life. Sometimes I could be at the worst place in my life and someone does show up. It doesn't necessarily have to be my husband. But there are beautiful people in this world. And sometimes we classify love and give that a ceiling and seek it in just one individual to make ourselves this so-called complete. Actually, we already are complete as we come into this world. Existing is good enough as you are. Nothing else, nothing more. And we're always seeking in this world of society because we've been programmed to do such. And that's where I was when I was making the song and video.
Yeah, I love that. And that's where I am too. That's where I am. And to me, it's a beautiful thing to be happy in your own company. There's nothing weird about that. You know what I mean? And hey, I'm down for other company, but just act right when you get here. Know how to act. Clean up after yourself and go home.
Amen.
So obviously, I'm very sad that I missed you on tour with Brandy and Monica.
Oh,
that makes me actually very devastated because that was like, come on, big three. It was everything. So how was the tour? I mean, how you came onto it? I know, sorry that Mooney Long was, not feeling well. We hate that, but I love that you were on the tour. How was that experience? I mean, you had to get ready fast, but you always stay ready. So
yes, I did get a call because, hey, things happen. We all are human, and love to Money Long, who killed the tour as well. Everyone was just so beautiful, welcoming, warm, and I was just so excited to, first of all, see the ladies. Myself as a fan and a spectator, to be able to watch supporters that grew up with us recite every word, every ad-lib.
Yes.
And see them receive their flowers, because they, as young teens that were recording at 11 years old, you know, and popping on the scene at 15, globally, setting the record and setting the stage and the bar for one name recording artists. There were females and young teenagers at that. I came a little later in 98, but I loved every moment of that. And beautiful, timeless songs with composition. I'm talking about bridges, modulations, vamps. I mean,
Dallas Lawson,
it was so beautiful to see that, and them to perform together. Brandy and Monica and Kelly Rowland as well.
Yeah, she's amazing. Love Kelly.
Beautiful. And celebration of Black music and Black women that have been in this game for decades and still going and looking and sounding amazing. So I was blessed and privileged to be there. Honored, of course. It was last minute.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to know the backstory about that.
I do.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So this was Maya's self-love time to take off from touring, because I'm always on the road, you know, and I love to do what I do. No complaints. Going down to Florida. My dad has a place down there to take some me time. I was going to start training, get my diet right, and I had this bottle of detox, right? And
what was it, a detox?
Okay. As all natural ingredients.
I'm scared.
I'm trying to recalibrate my system. You know, I eat a lot of vegan food, but processed sometimes on the road. Sure. Going. So I'm like, we got to get this together. You're going into your birthday month and a new year very soon. We got to start now. So I was planning on taking some time off to get into my flow.
Yeah.
So I had my alarm set for 1 p.m. to take this detox bottle. And you have to be stationary for 24 hours or more, because you're going to be on the toilet.
I know what this is, baby.
I got a call at 12:30. Can you be in Chicago tonight? I'm like, to do what? Oh, The Boy Is Mine. I said, huh?
Can I do it from the toilet?
I said, well, the dancers in LA, they're not going to make it in time. I said, let me look at flights real quick. I went on Expedia.com.
Come on, Expedia.
Right? There was a flight. And I'm not talking about Miami, Florida or Tampa, Florida. This is a whole different part of Florida where you only might get 2 flights. There was one flight nonstop that got me there. I said, all right, if y'all want me to do this, I don't have any outfits. I've already worn the outfit that I'm wearing in Chicago. I wore it at a birthday party of somebody that's on my album, right? In Atlanta. I said, well, that's all I got. Let me see if I can make it.
All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this section right here. We end it. We're going to do some final commentary with Kiki and Maya. Such lovely advice, such beautiful women, so sweet, so just so uplifting. And so I really loved a lot of the advice and the conversation that they were having. And we even have some wonderful men in the chat that also, you know, were listening to some of the message and stuff. And it seemed like, yeah, you know, this is what it is. Self-love and all of these things. It has no gender. You know what I mean? It's not about women. It's not about men. It's about how we love ourselves, how we choose to navigate in this world, how we show up in this world, and we show people and teach people how to treat us, right? Our boundaries, our lines in the sand, all of that. We can have that, whether male or female. And it's nice to hear both, you know, sides having these conversations in the way that they do. And so we did hear a little bit of that conversation and camaraderie between 2 beautiful, excellent, talented women that were really talking and speaking on some great points that I think I really receive and really is helping me. And as I can see from the chat, others can attest to as well. And we know that also there are men, healthy men out here having healthy conversations and camaraderie and lifting each other up and not hating on each other or tearing each other down. And every now and then we get to get a glimpse of that as well. And so before we move on to the next topic, I'm gonna let you lead with this one, Imani, for this ending segment right here with Maya and Keke Palmer. What are some of the things you took away from that little segment right there that we heard before we take a little song break and move on to Ice Cube, Mike Epps, and Big Boy?
Yeah, they were talking, as we said, they had a big conversation about self-love and that being alone isn't the same as being lonely. And being happy in your own company is a very powerful thing. Um, you know, our goal should be to feel whole, but not perfect, because no one's perfect. And to choose yourself because you haven't done so before. And then she talks about joining the Brandy and Monica tour, and that she, this is a classic example of stay ready, so you don't have to get ready, because she didn't. It was an unexpected call. She planned to take some time off and detox, and she kind of had a really short time to decide. No rehearsals, no sound check, no dancers, and things went wrong. Um, she had to perform using the audience speakers, and she was worried about the criticism. But because she's such a talent and she is a professional, she basically improvised and adapted to that situation, and she was on multiple dates on that tour. And the thing is, if you're going to stay long in this business, you've got to be a professional. You've got to be able to improvise and be ready for any situation. Um, but you know, literally, she had to do everything off the cuff because a lot of things were going wrong. And it was a great appreciation of Black women in music, which was really good that she was on that tour. And like I said, go over and watch this interview again. It's a great interview because she really, really talks about a lot about having a secure foundation, then that being ripped away from her, then her star not shining in the US anymore, and then having to go to Japan and be, to try and other people where she was accepted, where another door was open. She talks about, the self, the love. These are some of the other things we've been talking about, especially when we had that Nyala interview. It's a great interview about a lot more than just being a celebrity or a star. She talks about why you don't need validation, why social media is not as helpful as people think it is, because people do things driven by their followers, driven by their likes, and not really about what they want to do. And they forget they forget their foundations, they forget their talents, they forget why they're in the business. It's a great interview, two women, just being open, candid and honest. I thought it was really good, and I would suggest people go over there, go support Keke Palmer, go and watch this interview. It's got a lot of gems in it. And another thing was, like we were saying, protect your peace, give yourself grace, keep showing up, and remember, the younger version of yourself survived. So the stronger version of you really can thrive. That's what I took from this.
I absolutely agree, right? And like I said, you always hit the nail on the head and talk about the scene topics, right? That I'm thinking about as well. But yeah, within this conversation, so many gems drop, and so much great advice. And one of the things that stuck out to me, and I don't know if it was on this segment or this portion of, I think it was yesterday's segment, is that when she was being mentored by Prince, one of the advice that Prince gave her, a great piece of advice that Prince gave her, was that, you're young, you're out here, you're moving, you're shaking, you're driving, you're making all of this money, but what are you doing with it? How are you investing it back in yourself? It's not just about buying houses and cars and clothes and bags. How are you taking that money, investing it back in your future, in your career? And I thought that was very interesting yesterday when they stood out. But as far as when it comes to the self-love of the aspect of what they talked about today, absolutely. You cannot allow anybody to disturb your peace. And let me tell y'all, that's why I say I'm learning so much from Carlos, and I love it. And it's making me a better person. He will not allow anybody to disturb his peace. And he's telling me and teaching me, like, you have to be this way as well. Because you have a happier, healthier, longer life. You know what I mean? And it's just, I let people get to me and get under my skin. And that's something that I'm actively working on every day. So, I don't mind being transparent or vulnerable. But that's all I really have to say on this conversation, y'all. What we really would recommend is, thank you so much for kicking and rocking with us to watch it together, right? As friends, whatever you want to call it. People even get offended by you saying friend these days, and it's just like, okay, well, associates, meters up. I don't know what you're supposed to say, right? But we watch things together and we discuss them together, right? But we will be ending this trilogy here. We will not be going beyond part 3. And so for the rest of the interview, if you have not seen it, I really would recommend that you guys please go check out Kiki Palmer's podcast and her channel on YouTube. Find this interview, find this conversation if you really like what you heard here today, and you can see and watch the rest of it because it's amazing to the end. And we really would love to play it to the end and watch together with you guys and talk about it. But we have to move through with the rest of the content, press on time and all of those type of things. But from what we have heard so far, we've had so many gems that was dropped for us with the conversation between these two. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys did as well. So what we're going to go ahead and do is take a quick song break. And after that song break, y'all, we're going to just hear a little bit. And I want to do this because this is important. We need to see conversations, not just from women. We also want to see healthy conversations with men. So we can set the tone, right? And the example that it is possible, right? Men and males can get around the round table and have healthy, positive conversations, lift one another up, not hate on each other, not be, aggressive with one another. And women can do the same too. So that's why I like the differentiation between these two conversations and interviews. It's not just the gems that they're dropping, but it's the image that they present. Women can be cool without being catty with each other and have healthy conversations and lift each other up and love one another. And men can do it too. So anyway, y'all, let's just go ahead and take this quick song break. After that, we're going to get into the interview on BigBoyTV platform. He's sitting down with Ice Cube and Mike Epps. And I love the fact that we get to end with this because we're going to end with a laugh because Mike Epps is hilarious. And he want to bring some comedy to the rest of the interview. So we'll get into that in just a moment, y'all. Let's take this song break. Oh, go ahead, Imani. You have some things to say before we do the song break?
No, it was just a quick note for you. You actually said men can love on one another. I think you needed to say pause.
Imani, I cannot with you, bro. She's on about pause. Yeah, because Dame would say pause. But you know what? That is a very important thing that you just brought up. Because I do believe this is a problem amongst the community, but I cannot speak for men. Only men can speak for men. But I know it's a thing within society where we teach our young boys and the men are raised up to think we can't love on one another. We can't be like, yo, I got love for you, bro, and give you a hug, a pound, a dap, whatever it is. And I think a lot of that leads to men like really holding back and not opening up sometimes when they're going through things. And they don't necessarily want to open up to their women because they may feel like they don't want to look like they're weak. And that's another societal problem. But they can't even feel as though they're comfortable to open up to their homies. And I think that, that's a societal issue. But this is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be that way. And it doesn't present or mean that if a man opening up, he having a deep conversation or whatnot with his bros, that he's weak, he's, whatever, I can't say, or living a different lifestyle. Let's just say living a different lifestyle respectfully, which there's nothing wrong with that. But, if that's not the lifestyle you live, you sometimes feel as though like if I'm opening up or I'm too vulnerable, people are going to think that this is the lifestyle that I live. And it's not that. It's just that we all have feelings, emotions, and things that we go through. And sometimes you want to sit down with your bros and talk about it. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I think that should be something we should do more because I think it's healthy. I think it's very therapeutic. And, that's all I got on that. I don't want to go too far and say too much, but yeah, male camaraderie, female camaraderie in a healthy space and place is very helpful. It's helpful for all parties involved. And so, I think it's something that we can, navigate towards and practice. You know what I mean? Let me see. I'm going to read a few of the comments before I play a song because I say, okay, hold on. Let me go back up. Right here. V-Love says, say what's in your heart and kindness. That's it. Love me some comedy. V-Love. We love us some comedy, child. We want to get into some comedy. And Star said, hey, Golden, I'll take something away. Okay, I got you, babe. I got you. And then Carlos, he said, can't trust everybody. People is gone. I know, babe. There is that. You know what I mean? Because you could be in that space. You could be in that space and think that that's what it is. And then all of a sudden, boom, people turn on you. They do you in real fast. And so that is a risk that we take. Only people can speak for themselves as far as how they want to navigate and approach certain things. And especially after you go through certain things, it jades you and it changes you and it makes you feel like you have to navigate a little bit differently around relationships, friendships, and things of that nature. And so that's a deeper conversation for another day, y'all. But let's go ahead and take this song break real quick. And then we're going to hear a little bit from Ice Cube, Mike Epps over on BigBoyTV platform. And we'll get a little laugh and we'll joke a little at the end. And then, we'll wrap it up. So we'll be right back, y'all. Let's go ahead and put on a nice uplifting song. We'll be right back.
Soon I got people forgetting folks are human. That part. Every laugh ain't harmless. Every post ain't just jokes. Some people smiling online, crying in real life. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Why? You don't know what they carry when the camera done. Broken souls throw stones and hide their hands. Cowards in comment sections playing God again. Karma don't miss. And healing's still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you. Yeah. YouTube streets messy, everybody got a target. Creators throwing dirt like hate became a market. Mocking people daily, that spirit look haunted. Tell me who raised y'all, this behavior garbage. Laughing at depression, exposing folks' trauma. Then next shock when tragedy follow behind you. The evil energy, boomerang proper. Come on, pull up silent like a midnight robber. And honestly, do you watch my live? I talk truth, pain, growth, tears, real vibes. Not everybody built for the games online. Some folks want insult from losing their mind. That's facts, no cap. Y'all did the humiliation. Every live stream feel like public execution. Views over souls, cloud over humans. Then wonder why the whole world mentally ruined. Somebody mama crying at night. Somebody daughter hurt inside. Somebody praying not to give up while bullets screenshot pain for life. Shame on you, shame. You need healing too. Only damaged people wake up daily, trying to damage others too. Enough is enough. Why you tearing people down for fun? Tearing them down. You don't know what they fighting when the live stream done. Keyboard killers acting tough online. Whole time spiritually broken inside. Karma don't miss, no. Karma don't skip souls either. Every hateful seed gon' meet the reaper. So to the hurting bully people, listen close. You matter more than these demons online. Woo! bitter, these dudes weird. Obsessed every day, like why you still here? Refreshing my page while pretending you don't care. Whole personality built off hate and fear. Talk slick on that real life timid. Broken inside, everybody can't feel it. Projecting they wounds while the comments all cheering. That ain't straight, baby, that sickness concealed. And I said what I said. Yeah, some of these creators need therapy bad. Not another live stream drag. Not another fake outrage cash grab scam. Y'all bully for a living. That's sad. Spirit look bankrupt, dusty and mad. And the people encouraging it just is trash. Laugh now. Karma got a long memory past. Because words cut deep. So deep. And some people never recover. To everybody bullied online, you are not weak because you hurt. You are not crazy because you feel pain. And don't let these empty souls convince you your life got no value. The loudest bullies usually fighting demons they never healed from. That ain't an excuse, but it's the truth. And to the bullies, get help, seriously. This obsession with tearing strangers apart every day, that ain't normal. Enough is enough. We need love more than ever now. Too many souls out here barely hanging on somehow. No more glorifying painful views. No more clowning her forever new. No more mob attacks for entertainment. That darkness got consequences too. Karma don't miss. Karma don't miss. And healing's still possible too. So either spread love or watch life humble you.
All right, y'all. Thanks for rocking with us through that quick little song break. So yes, we're gonna go ahead and get into our final video for the live. We're gonna hear a little bit from Ice Cube, Mike Epps, over on Big Boy TV, and speaking with Big Boy, and we'll watch three men having a really great conversation. Of course, it's gonna be loaded with comedy, y'all, and we'll chip in and do our little comedy and our side notes and thoughts and feelings and opinions as well. I'm sorry, I was laughing at something, y'all. My mind be going left sometimes. But yeah, so now let's take a look at the men. The men can sit and have a conversation too. It's healthy, it's professional, it's very intellectual, and love is shown. They're lifting each other up and celebrating each other for all of the things that they do, whether they all do different things. And I think that's a good thing for us to see. And y'all, yes, we getting another Friday movie. So yeah, we can't wait for that, y'all. So that's on the docket. We talked about that in the part 2 and the part 1. But a lot of this conversation now is just three dudes just having a conversation and talking and, kicking it. But did you have any thoughts, feelings, or opinions or anything you want to say, Imani, before we hit play?
No, we can hit play. We'll chat afterwards. I love this interview, and I'm so glad there's going to be another Friday movie. So glad. I'm gonna rewatch all the other ones again.
Yeah, shout out to the Friday franchise, y'all. If y'all have any streaming services or anything where you can get all of the previous ones, catch up on it if you can. Excellent franchise. And yeah, we'll do some commentary after the video. Let's get into it.
When you're doing anything, you always you can't just be like, oh, this is going to be cool. Everything's straight. We got it. It's always, how do we make it better? How do we make it better without overdoing it? And so, You got to get that point where it's as good as it can be. Anything else, tip the scale and just keep it right there.
Do you do the same when it comes to comedy too, though, Mike? Because there's times when I'll see Mike Epps and I'm like, all right, he's killing it, but you also know how to see something in the crowd. Yeah. And like, you can't say, oh, Mike does crowd work. There's crowd work also, but you're tight. But sometimes I feel like you're never going to give us the same show twice.
No.
It's something, and then you know how to turn it for, like, I just recently saw you on, what was it? Was it We the Ones?
Yeah, We the Ones tour.
And that felt very Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It felt very home plate for what was going down.
Right.
Are you conscious to that when you coming out on stage?
Yeah, I literally, I feel sorry for the rest of these comics because I really use what God gave me to do it. And I don't never know what I'm going to say. So God bless you brothers out there writing every day, trying to remember all them jokes.
Right.
But I literally don't know what I'm going to say.
Until,
but I live it. So, it just come out. It's, you know what I mean? It's like instinct. It's like seeing a lion in the jungle. Like, he don't know what he gonna do if you walk up on him. Or, you know what I mean? Or if you see him leaping or something. But this is just it's what I do. You know,
just got 2 more Netflix comedy specials.
Yeah, they gave me 2 more.
Congratulations!
They gave me 2 more
bro.
specials, man. And this time, because the heat is on and it's gotten thick out there, I'm gonna do one of these different than I did any other special. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, but
you already know.
I already know. The last one, I got to do it to him, Q, because you know, like I said, the competition is thick now, and comics is coming at a rapid speed.
Yeah, man.
It's more comics now than I ever seen in my life. You know, and they some of them are funny.
Do you think it's easier to get into the comedy game now because we do have influencers that can pick up a mic?
Yes.
You know, people can just, you know, and it's today's market price, but people can just do certain skits on their phones and then they get a night.
But when it comes down to the real art and the real culture of stand-up comedy, it's gonna tell on you.
Yeah.
At some point. If you were an Instagram guy, if you made all of your headways and you made all of this stuff through being a social media guy, it's gonna be a cutoff line on your comedy, on your stand-up. You know what I mean? It's gonna cut you off. You're gonna not be funny, and you're gonna have a lot of money.
All that shit gonna come out the rent cycle.
That's right. So you know, for a guy like me, I remember going up and doing this 7 days a week. I touched the microphone 7 days a week. Sometimes I did it in front of 4 people, 3 people, or whatever. These guys they might go, if you go to the Comedy Store right now and ask, man, you been up this week? Oh, yeah, I went up Sunday. Sunday? So you going up now, this Friday, you ain't told a joke since Sunday? You're going to have a hard time.
It seems like it's just a different, people come from a different cloth as well.
Yeah, and the audience is watered down too. They just accept anything. They used to accepting garbage now that if you good, they'll say, oh, you ain't good.
You know,
you ain't better than this garbage.
Yeah.
A thirsty man to drink a dirty glass of water.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to show them.
Can you write that down?
That's why you got to show them a clean glass of water.
That's right.
So when you show them that clean glass of water next to that dirty water, it's no comparison. You know what I'm saying? So when you see somebody like Mike, that's a clean glass of water.
And Don Mega and Q.
That's done did it all at every level of comedy, TV, movies.
Yes, sir.
I want to pause it right there, y'all, because I think this is a good conversation to have, because I've seen that, you know, there has been some tethers and, you know, back and forth or whatnot with the OGs and the new Gs. So let's go ahead and get into it. I want to talk about that. I think it's important to talk about. So I know that there are some GOATs. There are some GOAT OGs that are amazing comedians. When we talk about comedy now, y'all, amazing comedians, stand-up comedians and whatnot. And it is unfortunate that during their time and the trajectory of their career, they were not getting the, respect that they deserve, and they were not getting the chances and opportunities that they deserve, right? And then, that happened for a while, and the years kept going and kept going, and they kept working and kept working and kept working and trying real hard to get it and never got it, right? And then we got to the point of the Gen Zs or the new Zs or whatever they call the Zs, the ZZZ, NyQuil, I don't know. So, because they got all these different terms for the different generations and child, I don't know. But anyway, the younger generation of comedians, right? And a lot of them, they took a lot of their influence from watching the OGs, right? They was watching the Richard Pryors, they was watching the Red Foxes, they was watching the Paul Mooney's, they watched, right? And then they had to figure out how to do it in their way, in their time zone, like their age zone or whatever, where we're at now. You know what I'm saying? And yes, y'all, this is one of the things, like technology and social media has changed the game for so many different things, right? So just like when it comes to acting and stuff like that, people wanting to be celebrities and stuff like that, you don't have to go and do table reads no more. You don't have to keep going to auditions and stuff no more. As long as you have enough subscribers and fan base on your social media, as far as your TikTok or your Instagram or your YouTube, then they think that you're worthy, right? And so you can walk in and get a role and not necessarily really have all the skills and abilities to play it greatly, but they feel as though you do because you have this big following and whatever it is that you do on your platform. And so I heard a lot of the talk from both sides, right? I hear the talks from the OGs. I know the struggle that the OGs had to go through. I know all of the hoops that they had to jump through and just to get a nightclub appearance, right? And Lord knows how much they was getting paid. You know what I'm saying? And this right now, we talking about comedy, but we can talk about entertainment, period, right? The OGs went through a different cycle and process when it comes to being like, getting opportunities and being great or whatever, or being within a craft. The new G's is coming up and they have different tools in the toolbox. Remember, I said this, y'all, on the other lives that we did. Or sometimes I talk about a child when I gotta pop off. But everybody got different tools in their toolbox. It's unfortunate, or is it fortunate, that times have moved along, and yes, within these times that we're living in, it has developed new tools that people are pulling, utilizing, and keeping in their toolbox. And when they learn how to wield that tool really well, then the way things have moved and shifted now, it is getting them opportunities faster. It is getting them opportunities that the OGs have been working for their whole life. And we see that. We understand that, right? And so I think there is this fair conversation that needs to be had between the OGs and the new Gs, especially when it comes to comedy, but in whatever field it is, right? It's, there's different times, different strokes for different folks, all of that type of stuff. I give respect. I give respect to the OG comedians. I absolutely do, because they really are dope. You know what I'm saying? But I also see a lot of new G comedians that do it their way, and they use, the tools that's in their toolbox that have been presented to them during a time of living in technological times and AI and social media and all those things. And I think a lot of them is dope too. And I don't know, there is a disconnect between the two. There is a lot of rivalry, and outrage between the two. And, that's unfortunate, because I think both are equally great. What I think is unfortunately for the OGs is that, like, yeah, I kind of would be mad too if I've been spending my whole career putting in hard effort and work and it's never paid off. I say this to say, let's take a look. Now, y'all know we report on Black history. Y'all know we report on politics and all the things, right? Now, remember, I don't know if y'all can recall, if y'all seen this, we were having a conversation during that time when it was the Kevin Hart roast, right? Now, during the Kevin Hart roast, we were speaking on it, more so coming from a little bit of understanding, a little bit of background of comedy, but more so activism, right? Because there was a lot of distasteful things that we thought. Well, I can't speak for Imani, I speak for myself, but me and her did have this conversation. But anyway, I'll let her speak when she go, for herself. But a lot of distasteful levels of comedy that happened on that Kevin Hart roast, and this is when we pop in and we talk, because we talk about, like activism, racism, boo, 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 all the things. But yet one of the things that I seen during that roast is I seen a black sister, a black beautiful woman, comedian, that has been working her entire career to get her shot and has never gotten it. And what I hated most about it is that it seemed like in order to get that, a lot of the things that happened on that Kevin Hart roast is what she had to deal with and she had to accept to get her shot. Because now she got a Netflix special that's coming up. And I'm talking about Cheryl Underwood, right? And this is a female comedian. We're not even talking about male comedians. This is a female comedian. And we know they get it we know that females get it 10 times as hard, right? Especially if you're black. But again, another conversation another day. And so, when we speak on that, it's like Cheryl Underwood is an OG. She's been putting in the work. She's a queen of comedy. And you mean to tell me that a queen of comedy don't get an opportunity before an Instagram influencer comedian? That's what I'm saying. I understand the frustration because I don't get it either. I don't understand how that could possibly happen. And then the fact that for her to get a big break or a big chance after all of the years and the time and the work that she put in as a female comedian, being a queen of comedy, that she had to go through like that public humiliation and weird stuff that happened on that Kevin Hart roast to get that opportunity. I don't like that. I don't think that's right. I don't think it's fair. But now I feel like some of the OGs feel like they have to do these type of things because the new G's is just like 100,000 subscribers on TikTok or Instagram, and they get a Netflix special. When the OG's been working tooth and nail for many, many years, and it's hard work. It is hard work doing stand up. It is hard work going to these comedy clubs and stuff like that, and these tours, comedy tours and stuff like that. And I get the frustration on their end. And I understand that the young G's is like, well, hey, we got the tools available, so we utilize them and we do what we do. And why be mad at us? Because we was born in a time where things are easier. So this seemed like the back and forth that's happening. It's not just with comedy. I think it's with a lot of things in the entertainment space when it comes to the OGs and the new G's. But Imani, what do you think about this? I think I said enough.
I think there's two things that are happening here, and I think there's a big question about what fame and celebrity means these days compared to before. Now, if you think about it, a lot of it has gone down to the bottom line with these companies, what makes them money, and they will put up whatever makes them money. So you can get the most uncouth people fighting, snatching wigs, but that is what is popular. And that is what gets them the viewers. And that is what gets them the followers. And that's what gets them the so-called fame. So fame and celebrity is completely different these days. And the company will put into, because they're more in tune with what their bottom line is. So you don't have to be good. You just have to be able to make money. You have to be what sells out there. So, and I think this goes across the board with what is pushed in front of us now. And a lot of it really revolves around negativity and not about the craft and not about the skills. And so it's popular now because who owns Netflix? Well, Netflix is owned by someone connected to the great leader. Therefore, they like all those jokes. They like all that negativity, all that, this is the time If there ever was a time to tell really racist jokes, this is the time. And that's what's being pushed. And that was deliberate and intentional. And the thing about it is there's two different things. There's the people that will sell themselves because they haven't had the chances. So, you know, you look at Kevin Hart, he's definitely sold his soul to get to where he is. And he's happy with that. But then there are others, because if you remember what happened to Dave Chappelle, he lost a hell of a lot of money because he said no. And he gave up, what was it, about 50 million with the Comedy Central stuff. So there are two things at play here. It's what is popular. And a lot of the popularity revolves around, you know, you can be a star or you can be famous if you go on Instagram and cut your toenails, if enough people watch it. And then cutting your toenails becomes a thing. And I mean, I'm being facetious when I say it, but it is that simple. The companies are only interested in what makes them money. And the key thing was, you know, getting those jokes in, because he did have the option to take them out, because there were lots of jokes that were taken out, and doing what is you have to do to get that break, because people haven't got that break. I can understand the resentment, but that's just life at the moment. There are a lot of people that don't have that much talent, that have a lot, that have gained a lot. And a lot of it is through reality TV, which I must admit, I'm a fan of some of it, but I'm not a great fan of all of it. And that has replaced the real craft. That, I think I can understand the resentment of people that have worked at their craft for years, who've done the clubs, who've done the small bars, who've done the smoky joints, and you know, been paid pittance for it. Now seeing these people who have, you know, 100,000 people on Instagram and can push and promote. And it's not always about the followers, because you can push and promote by paying money to do that and getting the right people who know how to push these things forward. So I do understand the resentment, but it really boils down to what is fame and celebrity now. And really, you can get celebrity for doing the most inane, stupid, dumb things on screen. And then all of a sudden you see someone who was cutting their toenails who's got a Netflix special. You know, I mean, I'm being a bit facetious about it, but it is like that. So I do understand the resentment. But there are some young, talented people, and you know, it doesn't have to be as hard for those that come after us. If it is easier, sometimes we should celebrate it, especially if they're talented. And there are a lot of talented um, young people out there, but they also need to look at and pay homage to the people that paved the way that came before them. That's my view on it. Um, you know, I can understand there is this great divide, but I think some of it is the resentment, some of them is the casual acceptance that they don't realize how lucky they are to have the social media that pushes a lot of what they do that these guys didn't have. That's
I absolutely agree, right? And right now, based off of our segment that we're talking about, it's within, you know, the comedy sector, because we got Mike Epps up here, you know, and Ice Cube, and they're talking about the new Friday movie. So that's comedy, right? But if we think about it, let's look at the trajectory of something else that was very, very the same thing, but in the female rap industry, right? So we went from Little Kim to Nicki Minaj to Cardi B to like Ice Spice and all the younger, you know, female rappers as well. And it's just like when you look at the trajectory of any of their careers, right? Um, they all have experienced different things and have to jump through different hoops, right? But you do pay homage. You pay homage to the one that did it first. You pay homage to that one because that one probably had it the hardest, right? It probably wasn't easy during that time when they're trying to be a female rapper. And now we're here where we at, and it's like, yo, you could have the talent. Some do, some don't, y'all. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. But you could have the talent, but you have to understand your experience, and as easy as it was for you to get it, you got people here that struggle and fought tooth and nail to get it. They came way before you. And then even rappers, if you want to go back even further from Nicki Minaj, child, we can put that out there as well. And so it's just like, it's always a timeline. It's always a different, you know what I'm saying? Like trajectory of history that individuals go through based off of what they do. We all do the same thing, but we all doing it at different times, and we all have different experiences. And, you know, a lot of the ones that have came before and are, you know, more fine wine aged and more, you know, established or whatnot, they had to go through a lot of different things what the youth is going through. Now you post one viral TikTok video and child, you a star. It didn't work like that back then. You can't be a star that easy back then. And so you have to understand their frustration as well, because it's just like, they know that they good, they know what they do, but back then they didn't get those open doors for them as easily as the young, you know, generation does. And they're still getting looked over, even though they're still actively practicing and doing their craft. They will pick one of the younger generation before they pick one of them that's more, you know, prestige and more prime. You know what I'm saying? Because they have more knowledge, they have more poise, they have more understanding of the craft. They put in harder work, and they get looked over because the young ones have just gone viral. And that's it. So that's basically, we're going to continue to play the video, y'all. We're not going to get too long with it because we got to wrap it up. We took so much of y'all time already. But that's basically what Mike Epps is about to continue to go on talking about. It's just like, you know, there is a difference and there is a level of frustration that should be understood, because, you know, the ones that put in the hardest work, right, they get overlooked for opportunities, but the ones who go viral and have a certain amount of subscribers, they're the ones getting the opportunities. So now the ones who've been working for this their whole life, I think, are getting desperate, and they're very tired because they've been fighting and trying to accomplish these things for so long and have never gotten it. Now they just willing to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just like, yo, I'm tired of fighting this good fight. What do I got to do to make it? What I got to do to get my shine or my time in the light? And so they just, you know, they're submitting. And it's a shame because we don't want to see nobody submit. Nobody should have to submit. A Cheryl Underwood should not have to submit. That's my personal opinion. It's like, there's no way that she should have to submit or go through some type of ritual or whatever the heck that was, so she can get her Netflix special, her comedy Netflix special. She should have been had a comedy Netflix special. She's a queen of comedy. What are we talking about? If you're the queen of something, don't let me get upset, y'all. Let's play some more of the video. We'll be right back.
And MCing on the mic,
specials,
off the head, interviews. You know, he's done it all. So
I've seen Mike.
No way these new comics who haven't had that track record or haven't had that much work could ever touch Mike.
I appreciate that, man.
You know, they might could do it on one or two little things, but on a consistent everyday basis.
Practice enough.
I see Mike throwing stuff away sometimes. We'll just be somewhere hanging. And he'll do 20 minutes. I'm just like,
let me say this on the mic. All these is my siblings.
I go, oh.
Yeah, one shot disappearing. All of them are my babies. Every last one of them up there telling my jokes. Every last one of them. They take my style and my jokes. And I don't say nothing to them. I'll never tell them in their face because I've been there, but I ain't never did that.
Mm-hmm.
But all of them are my babies. But it's so hard to see some of them become big and famous and stuff like that and don't tell nobody. They'll go on the radio or go on TV and say that they got it from somewhere else. Now, you know better than that. You are. That's what I deal with. You know what I'm saying? So nobody want to tell nobody. Well, you know, I learned this from Bruce Lee.
Right.
you don't tell nobody you jumped out the bushes on me to try my kung fu. Wasn't nobody there but me and you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how the business is, man. And unfortunately, you just have to, man, we had Cube too. He made a song about that. That's where I got the lyrics at. Ain't no other kings in this rap thing. They siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing but my children. One shot disappearing. He basically saying, all y'all running around here talk.
That's a Biggie line, but
yeah, don't worry about it.
It don't matter. But guess what? It fit you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because you was before Biggie.
That part out?
You was before Biggie.
No.
We need a lot of this
but
shit.
we talking about giving credit.
We
talking about giving credit with credit's due.
I was doing a lyric in my head, and I was like,
hey,
yeah.
And I know Cube.
I mean, I did a song called Child Support using that hook, but the thing is,
Biggie was one of his babies too.
Go ahead now.
Let's go. Come on.
He was like, I'm gonna be right.
Am I lying?
No, you're not. It's all real, you know. And I'm a sibling to Melly Mel, KRS-One, and you know all the OGs that came before me.
Yes,
that's how it go.
Hello,
that's how it should.
But this gangster shit.
Yeah, but the difference between you and them,
things I get.
Yeah.
The difference between you and them, you gonna tell them. You said it's like you just said that. These youngsters, they don't know to say that. They want somebody to think that they started that it came from them, but it's not. It's not real.
But you know what I love about both of you is you guys are veterans, and I got this from 40 Water. Veterans and relevant at the same time. Like Mike, you'll go out and everyone fucks with you. Either by fashion, by lingo, by, you know what I'm saying?
Gangbangers.
Yeah.
Pimps, hoes. Cube the same way.
Yeah, man.
I mean, for years been servicing these people, real people, man.
But Cube, you know how to disappear too. You know, you see important. Cube is tour time, Cube. Big 3 time.
You don't fuck
Cube.
around.
You don't like
around.
Yeah, man. Like
I don't think you should be popping out every night if you ain't got nothing to offer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you doing?
Just want to see your ass. I'm just out here like, what you got? You got a movie? You got a record? Don't be popping out just to be
out here.
Like, have something for the fans
Get your ass
to
through
be
the
a
house.
part of. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Big 3, man.
Yes.
You guys just did the draft.
Yes.
Right. What's going down with Big 3? And Big 3, does it start in LA?
We start in LA, into a dome, June 20th. Tickets gonna sell next week, and we need to fill that place up, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, we got 2 games here. We got week 1 and I think week 4.
Oh, so we get a chance to come back too.
Yeah. You know, so it's gonna be fun. Can't wait till the summer hit. They ready.
Hey, man, on with sports also, we had a chance to see,
All right, y'all. We're gonna end it right there, child. Shout out to Ice Cube, Mike Epps, and BigBoyTV platform, y'all. And we know Ice Cube is doing the Big 3. Okay, he's going to be doing the tours or whatnot to promote for the new movie, y'all. The new Friday movie that we all are anticipating to see. So shout out to them for that, y'all. I will put some of the information in my description box if y'all want to find where to get tickets, if you want to go. Basically, what that is like it's going to be music, performance, festival type stuff, right? To turn up and promote the upcoming movie that is going to be dropping. So that was a great conversation. And at that portion of the conversation that we listened to, yes, we was talking about, some comedy stuff, OGs, new Gs, all of the things. And we know that that doesn't only exist within comedy. That can exist within any type of entertainment space, right? So we heard some excellent, commentary and conversation amongst them, 3 men. And you seen they was having a good old time, y'all. Mike Epps coming with the comedy as well, just on the interview. So I thought that was a great conversation to show. And as far as Key Palmer, also a great conversation to show. What I recommend, since we cannot unfortunately get through to the very end, is that you go to these channels and you check out the interview and the conversation for yourself. So please go over and look at Keke Palmer's podcast if you want to see the rest of the conversation between her and Maya. If you want to see the rest of the conversation between Ice Cube, Mike Epps, go over and check out Big Boy TV and his radio podcast station on YouTube. All of these things are on YouTube. And if you also want to check out a little bit more about what Dame Dash had to say, teeth don't fall out again. Check out Art of Dialogue. Excellent, excellent platform. Does wonderful interviews. I love his interview style. So yeah, y'all, we just give y'all as much as we possibly could, right? For some of those conversations. And I'm gonna let Imani go ahead and give some of her thoughts, feelings, and opinions, y'all. And then we'll wrap it up after this. We really appreciate your time. Imani, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, in all of these interviews, even if you go and watch the rest of the Art of Dialogue, as much as we were clowning Dame, he did, as he does in every interview, he gives lessons when he can get past his bitterness. In the Kiki Palmer interview, there were lessons and there were gems there. And even in this one with Cube, Mike Epps and Big Boy, it was reminding us, there was a lot of this in the two interviews with Kiki and with Cube and Mike Epps, that the world is obsessed with people going viral, but mastering your craft still matters. Anybody can pick up a phone. Anybody can get followers if they want to, if that's what they want. But eventually your talent gets tested and your discipline gets tested and your character gets tested. And those are the more important things that were said in this interview. And even if you go and watch the rest of Dame Dash's interview, he does give some gems about business and about longevity and about ownership, but he obviously doesn't reflect and hold the mirror to himself sometimes, so he got a bit obsessed in other things, but he does talk about the business. So you should go over to Art of Dialogue and watch the rest of that interview, and go over to Big Boy and also support Kiki Palmer's podcast. But what we heard about today is artists, entrepreneurs, comedians, survivors, visionaries, and dreamers. Different personalities, different journeys, and different perspectives, but all talking about the same thing. Underneath all the laughter and the wisdom and the storytelling, the message was the same. Life isn't just about making money. It's about making meaning. They were reminding us that success means nothing if you lose yourself trying to achieve it. And Maya reminded us nothing matters if you lose yourself. She said, protect your peace, move at your own pace. Don't let the world's timeline become your burden. And Ice Cube and Mike Epps reminded us that authenticity never goes out of style. You don't have to become someone else to leave a legacy. Things built from truth have a way of standing the test of time. And if you go and watch the rest of the interview, which I did on Art of Dialogue with Dame Dash, he talks about ownership, owning your vision, owning your choices, even though he still thinks it's unfair that he sold his shares. But hey, that's another story. Owning your mistakes and building your own table and creating opportunities, not just for yourself, but for others. And maybe the real lesson is that real currency is not just fame, it's freedom. The real wealth isn't followers, it's peace of mind. The real flex isn't proving strangers wrong. It's going home to people who love you, sleeping well at night, and waking up knowing you lived according to your own values, not someone else's. Because at the end of the day, trends change, algorithms shift, the applause fades, but character remains. How you treated people remains. The seeds you planted remains. The doors you opened for others remains. The love you give remains. So, all I can say is for everyone, whatever you're doing, dream big, work hard, learn whatever business you're in, laugh a lot, give people their flowers while they're here, take care of your family, your friends, your health, and your spirit. And remember, you're not behind, you're never too old, you're never too late. And as long as there's breath in your body, there's a purpose in your life. And your greatest chapter hasn't been written yet. You might have had a few detours, but you can always get back in the car and continue your journey. And I'd also like to say about, like I always say, please support some of the people who don't get their flowers in this space. Support channels. These are some of the ones I support. Ralph the Wise, Maggie, Kimmy Love, Cultivate with Kai, Unwind with Teddy, Mel's World, Gooditopia, We the People, Cups of Conversation, Judge Shady Court, Rose Tea Politics, Trevor Green, Dropping the Tea, Star, Conscious TV, Polo's Porch. She does some stuff. Everybody's different. Everybody's doing different things. And we don't have to all like the same things. Just support the people you want. Give people a try. And there are people making music like Atlas Family Music, Dropping the Tea, Gooditopia, and of course, GoldenQueen makes music. She's got a whole music channel. She can make a song in a heartbeat, but that's another story. Yeah, and have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. And thank you all for supporting us. As always, we love you, and we'll see you on the next one, which will probably be some I don't know actually. We'll be back tomorrow for something fun, won't we?
Yeah, because it's been a lovely Friday, y'all. It's been a lovely week, and we're very blessed to see, uh, you know, the end of the week, right? Some people don't get to do that, so that is a blessing, and that's something we're grateful for. And y'all, sometimes it's jam packed during the week, and it's like a little bit intense sometimes. But don't worry, we have more content to come. And typically during the weekend, we like to keep it light and we like to keep it cute. So we got some cooking stuff coming up. We do some foodie things, and we also will be doing some history things as well. But all different types of things. Whatever it is you desire to come over and watch and participate in, we really appreciate all of your support and your participation and coming over to check us out. And I love everything that Imani said in closing. And I do have a few final thoughts myself, and we're gonna go ahead and end this out with a bop. But Dean Dash, basically, right, gives us a cautionary tale. If you don't heal from old closures, you will spend your current energy screaming at a past that has already moved on. Ice Cube teaches us a lesson in legacy. Build your own foundation so you never have to ask a corporate system for a seat at the table. And Maya leaves us with the ultimate blueprint for emotional sobriety. Validate yourself first, so the world can never tell you what your worth is. If you know someone in our community or your community that needs to hear this, please share the video. We appreciate y'all spending time with us and rocking it out with us, y'all. We try to give you a little bit of everything when you come, and it's very much appreciated. But that is literally all I have on that, y'all. But one thing that I will say is, sometimes, people do a lot of things for money, and they sell out their integrity, their heart, and their soul when it comes to money. That's the thing. But I think before you do that, you should probably pause. Anyway, y'all, that's all I got on this one. Golden and Imani out. Per usual, we going to end it with some bops, y'all, and we will be back tomorrow for another live. Thank you so much for tapping in with us, y'all. We will talk to you tomorrow. Everybody have a good rest of the morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whatever respectful times on your end. And we hope you enjoyed the live. Thank y'all so much. Golden out. Bye.
Yeah, I'm chasing the check, but the weight of the world is a chain on my neck. Money, 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 money. Yeah, check the clock, check the pace, check the greed. Everybody's sprinting just to get what they need. They don't care about the person, they don't care about the heart. Just a number on a ledger trying to tear the soul apart. Getting paid by the hour, yeah, they stacking up the stress. Why the people at the bottom try to clean up the mess? It's a cycle, it's a system, it's a cold-blooded race. They'll look you in the eye while they try to take your space. For love of the trading our time for a flick of light. They'll sell the truth just to get the pay. Doesn't matter who you are, they're gonna look the other way for that lean green, mean green. The hustle's got us on our knees. I need the racks, but not like that. No, I need to win, but keep the facts straight. Everybody's acting for the digital stage, selling out their spirit for a click on the page. Clickbait the drama, monetize the fake. How much of your integrity are you willing to stake? They're getting paid to hollow out everything we seek. The bank account is heavy, but the character is weak. Check the status symbol, check the bottom line. The pressure of the climb's gonna drive us out our mind. Chasing down a bonus isn't worth the cost of time. Got to have it, I'd rather have the truth. Stop trading all our wisdom in the fire of our youth. Don't be a ghost for a paycheck. Stay real for the people. Money, 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 money. Don't be a ghost for a paycheck. Stay real, I'm trying to be a pro. Buddy. Buddy. Yeah. Big Queen. Big Queen. YouTube stories. Some real, some messy. Some growth, some jealousy. Let's talk facts. I came in the game with a vision and a plan. They was throwing shade, I was building my brand. Funny how they watch me but don't understand. Now they study every move like I'm part of the land. I got love from the ones who been down from the start. Why they stuck in no drama? Playing games in the dark. I just leveled up, yeah, I played it smart. They replaying old moments while I'm making new art. Yeah. Started with a channel and a voice in my head. They was laughing at the vision, now they watching instead. Some said I wouldn't grow, said I fall off instead. Now they clicking every up, they refreshing it red. Funny how the internet exposed what it is. Some support you from the jump, some just watching your biz. Some will smile in your comments, but be typing she missed. Why they secretly obsessed with the life that you live? Seen creators turn bitter over numbers and fame. Seen friends turning to strangers over clicks and a name. Seen whole timelines collapse, trying to win at a game. Never was consistency, but exposes the shame. Yeah, I came in the game with a vision and a plan. They was throwing shade, I was building my brand. Funny how they watch me but don't understand. Now they study every move like I'm part of the land. I got love from the ones who been down from the start. Why they stuck in no drama? Playing games in the dark. I just leveled up, yeah, I played it smart. They replaying old moments while I'm making new art. Algorithm shift energy change. People want real content, not the petty and strange. I've been focused on my goals while they stuck in a rage. Arguing with ghosts on a digital stage. I built from the ground, no shortcuts, no cheat. Every view, every loss, every win, bittersweet. Now they watching from the sidelines while I stay on my feet. Trying to turn my story into something elite. Some creators evolve, some stay in a loop. Some chasing validation, some building a group. I just stay in my lane, never falling for loops. While they stuck in the comments, trying to spin the soup. Hold up, you said I wouldn't make it. You said I fell off. You said it was over. You still watching though. You still typing though. You still mad though. You still here though. Now I'm laughing to the blink when I build what I want. No more feeding in the drama, no more chasing the front. Every lesson turn to blessing, every loss made me stunt. Now I'm moving with intention, not just doing it blunt. This is YouTube evolution, it's a digital shift. Where the good ones keep ascending and the bitter ones drift. I just turn my pain into something that lives. Not a quarter of my content like it's part of the script. I ain't perfect, but I'm focused and I stay on my path. While they stuck doing calculations, trying to mimic my math. I just keep it moving forward, never stuck in the past. And I listen to respond when they talking that trash. New era, new energy, same hustle, different level. They don't know her like I do. Nah. Golden. She moved through the city with her hair held high. Pretty brown skin with a storm inside. Everybody see the glow, they don't know the pressure. Smile so warm, but her heart no weather. Late nights riding while the skyline blur. Trying not to cry when the memories occurred. Had to learn fast, everybody ain't loyal. Some people love you long as they control you. Now she move careful, energy expensive. Too many fake vibes hiding in the friendship. Used to give love with her hands wide open. Now every scar got the whole vibe frozen. They don't know her like I. No, they don't know. She goes by golden, soft voice, deep soul, hope or glowing. She goes by golden, city lights dancing with her heart stay open. Long dark roads, but she still stay focused. Everybody watching, but they don't really know her. Too much grace for the games they throwing. Real love, rare, so spirits they guarded. Beautiful soul, but the pain left marks in it. Mirror tell the truth when the lights go dim. All the things she carry weight heavy within. She survived nights she don't even speak on. Still finding peace while the whole world ain't wrong. Funny how the love disappear when you're healing. Funny how the fate come around when you win. Now she trusts God more than people intend. Just cause smiles hot and being hidden in the deep. She's still soft-hearted but she way less naive. Can't keep pouring love but there's nothing received. Still dancing slow through the hurt and confusion. Trying not to lose herself chasing illusions. She survived the fire. Still glowing through this room. Still still dangerous. Still chosen. She goes back golden. Slow so deep made the whole room notice. Heavy lies couldn't break what was chosen. Still standing tall while the whole world folding. She goes back golden. Heartbreak turned to pens in the matter. Now the tears got rhythm when she's singing. And they still don't know her like shake the mirror. But at the end of the night, when the lights fade, when the city cried, when the tears dried, we still got